This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. My name is Tracy James, and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast about movies that are, well, off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about the movies in my collection. Usually, because it's the 4th annual Off My Shelf Holiday Extravaganza!
Yay!
Woo!
For the holiday season, I've gathered a carefree caboodle of cacophonous characters to convey... Oh, damn it! Almost had it!
Sorry, James Stew.
You did. For the holiday season, I've gathered a carefree caboodle of cacophonous characters to converse about cheery chicanery. This year, we are actually talking about movies off my shelf. The only 2 legit holiday movies that I own, with Love Actually and The Nightmare Before Christmas. My guests are Alix Cook.
Hi.
Jessica Lutzer.
Hi.
Mike Linington.
Hello.
Sean Archer.
Glad to be back.
Leah Erbe.
That's me. Hello.
Mike Suderman.
Hello.
And Brendan Kreitz.
G'day.
Welcome. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining again for this very cheery occasion. And
yay!
We're happy to be here.
I'm glad. I think we did all of our chatting. Yeah, I think we did all of our chatting before I started recording. Now everybody's like, well, screw this. I don't want to be here anymore. I get it. I'm like forcing holiday cheer upon all of you very early this year.
We're very excited.
Yeah. I mean, I am wearing antlers. You're wearing a Santa hat. Leah looks fantastic. I don't know what she decided to do over there, but it looks great.
This is as festive as I get.
It's a good amount of festive. And then there's boys. I don't know.
I'm drinking eggnog.
A Christmas. I'm wearing my Bill's hat. That's very festive.
Pikachu.
Okay, we gotta
Pikachu.
Yes.
Christmas sweater T-shirt because it's too warm to wear an actual Christmas sweater here.
Yeah. Lucky you. The temperature keeps dropping over here and lots of snow and stuff. So, you know what? Like this holiday season has just been a little crazy. It's not even feeling like the holidays, but now that I have you guys in front of me, I'm just like, I feel, the holiday spirit, and my heart's growing 3 sizes too big or some nonsense. So we're going to have a good time tonight. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Hooray.
I do
festive like being angry about a movie.
Exactly. I was about to say
to be angry about. These are Christmas movies.
No. I did want to start by apologizing for making you guys watch Love Actually.
As well you should.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
I
too
never
long.
saw it until yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Seriously? You are very lucky.
Well,
and
you had
that-
a good run, and my sympathies.
Yeah. Sorry, I took an edible before I watched it. So halfway through, I was like, what the hell English accent is that? Like a couple of people, like the secretary to the prime minister, sometimes when she talked, I was like, she's saying words, but I don't know what they are because she talked really fast. But
Are you talking about Plumpy?
yeah, Plumpy.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
wish
For the least
Really
fat
weird.
woman in the world.
Yeah, it
As
was
an
so
overweight man, I was like, she's not.
I don't
nobody in
remember
this
the
movie who they call
90s
fat
shaming was okay. Like
This should be
I
called
don't
fat
remember
shaming
it
the
being
movie.
funny.
Yeah.
It was not cool.
Brutal.
That's
There is
someone who
nobody over
would never be
150
considered
pounds.
fat.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And she wasn't
repeat that.
fat. She's just, I don't understand why it is in England if is that fat? I don't.
The manager of Bill Nye wasn't even really that big and kept calling him Chubby and Chubs.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, everybody over 150 pounds is a punchline.
Yeah.
Also, Monica Lewinsky is a punchline, even though she's like, what, a hefty 106?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, the girl in the movie, she was not anywhere near 150 pounds, first of all.
Exactly.
And second of all, I'm very happy you brought up Monica Lewinsky because she like was all Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That blue dress with the drippy white bow at her throat was not subtle.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
I didn't catch that. Oh, but now that I think of it, thanks, Leah.
You're welcome, I think. My goal is to make everybody as miserable about the holidays as I am.
Oh, stop it. You know what? We're going to switch it around and we're going to make you happy about the holidays. Yes.
Woo!
Happy to be here with you guys.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
It's already working, Tracy.
It's working. We're doing it.
Oh, no, you don't. You're
Or
not going
maybe-
to get me.
Or maybe it's just the alcohol. I don't have no idea. So yeah, I think we kind of all have a consensus about how we feel about this movie, but we're still going to talk about it. This movie, when it first came out, was one of like the biggest holiday movies ever. Everybody said they loved it. Everybody watched it. It made a crap ton of money. And what is this? This is like 18 years later, everybody's like, this is the worst movie ever made. Why is this on TV all the time? Oh my God. What the hell?
Yeah.
Go.
I really resent this movie for its ability to manipulate me because of the time period that it was made in and how old I was. That like every time I caught myself laughing at a dumb joke or becoming invested, I got angrier and angrier. And I really took that personally. I just don't think it's fair that a movie that holds up so terribly can still tug on my heartstring at an appropriate moment and make me feel an emotion. And I will fight this movie. I don't know how that works, but I will.
I don't know. That little kid was so cute. It was
So cute.
the cutest kid ever. He's from Maze Runners, right?
He is. Yeah. He was also in Game of Thrones. He played Jojen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Force Awakens for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he was the Imperial officer that was like, we have them on the scanners or some nonsense. Yeah.
And then it blows up a minute later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't see. It seems like every movie he shows up in for the rest of his life, a character facing him should just go like, "Aren't you the kid who played the drums in Love Actually?" It just is one of those things that I think if I recognized him, it would totally burst whatever suspension of disbelief I had going on.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that kid in England, like just growing up, like such a specific looking kid. Like he must have been berated for like even up till now. With people just bringing up that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I did, when I was much younger, I did a McDonald's commercial where I had to sing about I was a little girl who had a crush on a little boy. And I never stopped getting bullied for it. I was just teased forever for the act of acknowledging, even though I was paid money for it. The act of acknowledging that a little girl might have a crush on a little boy, devastating to my middle school self.
I didn't know about that, so now we got to go watch that McDonald's commercial if anybody's got it.
Find it. Yes.
Yeah.
You can hear me, but you cannot see me, so it will not be as satisfying.
Oh. Never mind.
I cannot imagine what he put up with.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny about it? He was 13 in this movie. And
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, he was 13 years old in this movie.
He's so tiny.
He's so tiny. And when and the thing is, Keira Knightley was only 18 years old when she was moved. They're only 5 years apart.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Gross.
How old was the guy that plays Rick Grimes? Because he looks really young in that too, like 20 something.
They're him and Chiwetel Ejiofor are like 26 and 27, I think it is. In that. So I don't know.
Okay.
Were you guys familiar with him prior to, I guess, this movie and I guess Walking Dead later on?
No.
Because he was like within the UK. I think it predated this one. He was a pretty big TV actor. So there was this show Teachers that was kind of massive. It was massive here too, but in definitely in the UK. And like maybe a third of the cast appeared in that show Teachers. I'm thinking, and it was around about the same time. So they either got the role in Teachers as a result of Love Actually, or whoever directed Love Actually really liked teachers, which is, I think, what probably happened.
Well, for me, I only recognized him from The Walking Dead. And then years later, like I didn't even realize it was the same guy in Love Actually. And then years later, somebody's like, "Isn't that the guy from Love Actually?" I'm like, "No, you're crazy." Oh my God, it was. So yeah.
The same thing happened to me, Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also you have a lot of franchises represented in this movie too, because you even have like what's his face? Martin Freeman,
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. He was also in the Marvel movies.
Mhm.
It's a
who-
stacked cast generally, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I think everyone went on to do something or had been previously in something pretty big.
yeah.
Because he was
There's
in
a
the British version of The Office as well, which is what made Martin Freeman kind of a success.
Yes.
And that would have been
Yes.
around about the same time.
Mhm.
Oh, and Sherlock, of course. How could we forget?
Oh, he did
Yeah.
Sherlock after as well. Yeah. So he's done like huge things.
I've never seen the love interest that he played across.
Mhm.
I'd never
Yeah.
seen her in anything, but she was really good. So
He was
The
in
Nichols-
another British sitcom called Gavin and Stacey, which was absolutely massive at the time that it came out. Mostly, probably, I know he's not the most popular these days. What's the British late night host that people dislike a lot at the
Clarkson?
moment?
Gordon Ramsay.
Corbin.
Yeah,
No,
James Corden.
James
So
Corden.
that was the show.
James Corden.
He wrote it, and that kind of brought him to fame.
Oh.
But she's been in a lot of other things, but that was her, I think, big success as well.
I am very happy you told me that because I had never known why he was famous. I'm like, why does he have a talk show? Why is he why is he on my screen? He's just from day one,
So
I found him
Gavin and Stacey
annoying.
was like a phenomenon in the UK,
Mhm.
and like big here too. They did a Christmas special. I think it was a Christmas special like a couple of years ago, but it was probably on 10 years ago, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. Like originally, several seasons, many specials. About a British guy that meets a Welsh woman on the phone at work, and the culture clash of someone being from Wales and London, and how do you manage that 4-hour commute in between?
Oh,
She's from Cardiff. What? Ah!
Yeah.
how would I ever even get there?
Crazy.
I wonder if
They
that
didn't say
happens
anything.
though, like in London, if you start dating somebody, but they live like, because London's so big, it's like, oh, you live too far away. We can't really manage
sure.
this relationship.
Mhm.
And I think there is a bit of that. And I think like the culture in Wales, I've spent a bit of time in Wales, is very different to the culture in like London. Like I'm sure, say, the culture in Toronto is very different to some of the more rural kind of areas. But
Mhm.
The
very,
416-705 split.
Yeah. Area codes. It's fine.
Or even if you went Toronto to Ottawa, the culture is way
Yeah.
different.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
well,
that's
I
5
mean,
hours away.
Toronto, Montreal, or something like.
Way different. Yeah.
Mm. But Gavin and Stacey, I again, maybe one that doesn't hold up. I don't know how well it holds up in modern eyes, but was a very good show when it came out. Really funny. I've got quite a few. So my wife's Canadian, and I have quite a bit of Canadian family.
Yeah, you
And
do.
my father-in-law could not understand the Welsh accents, so that was the only downside. We couldn't watch it when we were in Canada because he couldn't follow about half the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I find
have
it
a follow-up message. Just
no,
from
go ahead.
Alex, who
Yeah.
Alex would like us to know that she is furious that she had to sit through Love Actually only to not be able to be part of
To
the
do this.
podcast.
Oh no.
She'll never talk to you again, Tracy.
Bad. I know.
She can't even vent about it.
I mean, if they want to try again later, it's fine. But yeah, I guess we'll keep going for now.
Yeah, I can't believe how much I used to love this movie. 'Cause I saw it in theaters. I thought it was like, I finally like a Christmas movie, or not finally. And I think it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Someone's like, "This movie doesn't hold up," and I didn't believe them. And I watched it. I'm like, "Oh no, it does not." I like certain parts of it.
Yeah, all the actors are so charming, and they have such screen presence that you like turn your brain off and you're like, wait a minute, wait, is this about like falling in love with a lady who you haven't spoken to at all? And
like everyone in this movie, either they get married or they're going to get married within a month of knowing each other. Sorry, not even a month, 3 weeks. And there's also the weird age difference with some of them. Actually, almost all of them.
Age differences and power
and
dynamics.
super inappropriate work relationships. Like,
Yeah, but I also
and I'm like, am I just old and cynical now?
To show their breast. I was like, why are they?
There's a lot of boobs in this movie.
Making them do that.
There's actually, I actually have an answer to that question. Hold on. There is, so the director of the movie.
9/11, there was a nipple quota?
No, well, actually, kind of, because apparently the guy was interviewed about making the movie. And originally he was told to cut all the nudity, like not have it. And because the movie would also lose money if there was nudity in it, because less people would be able to watch it or want to watch it. And he said he was making it like he was thinking about his teenage boy self, because as a teenage boy, you'll watch it if there's boobs in it. If there isn't, you're not going to look at it. So he made it for his teenage self to do it. So that's why he kept all the boobs in.
So
he's not wrong there.
That explains a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah, like when I read that, I was just like, that explains a lot, because none of those scenes seem to fit in. Like it just seems out of place. To be honest.
It wasn't necessary at all.
Yeah,
I'm looking
and
at
it
his
also made it more
filmography.
uncomfortable in a weird way. It was like,
I
don't know. Well, even the good-looking, I guess, Spanish guy, and he was just
he is Brazilian.
Brazilian, okay, but
you wouldn't know because he has no personality, or they don't tell me about that.
I know
about him.
Yeah, but also they were about to have sex, and the phone happens, and then they go back to having sex, and then the phone happens again. But he gets really upset about it. But if you were anybody else, would you really get that upset about, somebody?
How dare she have a life outside of this sexual
bed?
Well, this is one of my biggest problems about this movie. Like none of these, storylines are storylines of love. Really, they're all like very lusty, or they're about having like power over somebody weirdly. And so it just like a lot of them just made me uncomfortable. I was just like,
except for the Liam Neeson one, I really enjoyed. It was nice. He was really cute.
It was
like the way
creepy.
he was with his kid.
He also moves on from his dead wife within 3 weeks.
What's that?
So one thing I didn't.
He's dating Claudia Schiffer within less than a month.
Yeah.
After burying his wife.
It happened. I don't know.
That was her final wish.
Son is infatuated with has the same name as the dead wife. As the dead mom.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
it was also very.
That's very normal. Oh, you mean the girl who was the star of the school Christmas pageant, which is typically constructed so as to feature a solo performance from one student only?
Yeah,
and the teachers,
right?
And the teachers. That's right.
She did have a great voice, though. They were like, she's the only one that actually can sing.
She's a star. We got to get her out there.
Yeah, that girl actually
and she's American.
That girl actually did sing the song, so I was kind of, because I looked it up, I was just like, well, who did her vocals? It was her.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great.
Nice.
And she was about to leave. She was literally getting on a plane afterwards, so they wanted to send her out with a bang, I think.
Yeah. Luckily, the timing of the flight worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of running through security for a post 9/11 movie.
Yeah. Explicitly post 9/11.
Yes. Minute one, and they're talking about 9/11. Like, I don't think that you have a hefty enough movie to be invoking
Christmas 9/11.
Yeah.
They should have had a scene where they maced the child and put him in those plastic handcuffs and hog tied him away.
Well, the thing is, they fully would have at that point. Like, they fully would have. They would have had more than just 3 people running far behind him. People would be like coming out of corridors and like shutting everything down. It'd be crazy.
It was
I remember
Christmas.
they
were watching
handcuffed
TV.
a 6-year-old girl. I remember the one time.
But apparently,
one of the airports.
Apparently, airport security was not so crazy that the filmmakers couldn't just creep shot a bunch of people
Yeah, all the live.
Oh, hugging and meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read about that too. They did get clearance from everybody they used in there.
It's still gross.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a side thing. When he was filming the marriage, the wedding, and that was he was paid, or like that's his job. During that 6 to 12 hours of shooting film, he only shot her. He should have realized he has a problem.
This was a mistake I made too, because I remembered him being the videographer for the wedding, but he's actually not. He's just the best man.
He's the best friend of the guy.
Stash of video.
Yeah,
What a
so
douchebag.
His plan, because that footage was not supposed to be released. It was just his personal.
Yeah.
He was just gonna finish that wedding, having
so creepy.
filmed her, and it was just for him. It wasn't even.
It should have just kept on playing, and then it showed them having their honeymoon, and then
He's in the bush.
It was like through a fence.
Yeah.
What? I'm in love. I just love you.
Yeah.
Not only did he film it, he then labeled it, put it on his shelf next to all his other movies.
In a box of tissues.
And lube.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's just like, oh no, my video, it's ruined somewhere. I don't know where it is. And she's like, oh, it's just over there. Just like,
Yeah, he got too much Santa jizz on it.
yeah. Oh god. Oh, stop.
It's so long. The video is so long. We have to watch it for so long. It's real gross. I feel like that's not necessary. You get it pretty fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. But also, like, her reaction to it all is like, you shouldn't be married.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
Yeah,
going to react
especially
that way to
They
your
really
husband's best friend.
clarify in that scene that they don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
They don't seem to like each other. Like, it's not like a unrequited like love from like an old friend. Like, if he had been her lifelong friend instead of like the best man of the husband, that could be like one thing, right? It's like, oh, I've always loved you, I've known you since childhood, but no, they don't fucking talk. He's literally so creepy.
The only couples who talk to each other. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say the only couples that talk to each other are the two stand-ins for the porn, I guess.
Yep. Yeah.
And who was the other one? I already forgot. So there's one other couple that talks, and that's it. Everyone else is like talks.
Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman, they do talk to each other more
Well,
than
but
anybody
I mean
else.
that's more of a marriage falling apart story.
Yeah.
But
Christmas.
anyways, but like the main like the prime minister and his aide, they almost he talks to her about where she lives. That's it. Like I mean maybe there's other stuff off screen, but we don't see.
Yeah, he also asks her if she has a boyfriend. Totally appropriate
where she lives, if it's with a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Totally normal. Yeah.
And that's it. And now he's in love with her.
Her immediate supervisor talks shit about her thighs for a while, which is also totally normal. And then she gets groped by the president, which is the only thing that spurs him into any kind of action.
Yeah. And she thinks he's mad at her.
His first action is getting her fired.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Colin Firth and the Portuguese pop star. She's a pop star, the one who plays his house cleaning lady / helpmeet. I'm not really sure. Housekeeper, I think, would be the most dignified way to say it, but it doesn't seem like it.
The term from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think, is appropriate here, which is a bang maid.
That's the one. Yeah.
Bang maid.
Their whole plot line is about how they can't speak to each other.
Yeah. So they
And
literally know
also
nothing
that
about
she
each
has
other.
a fat sister that will go nowhere.
But the thing is too,
She's Miss Dunkin' Donuts, her father called her.
Yeah.
But the thing
Portuguese
is
man says Dunkin' Donuts.
Specific American
and then the whole village goes to watch
For a
the daughter getting sold off.
Non-English speaking family.
Imagine if you're Portuguese watching, they'd be like, what the fuck? We aren't like that.
Look, as
So
a
weird.
non-Portuguese speaking person, even I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is just weird. But he only falls in love with her when she takes off her clothes and jumps in the thing.
Oh yeah.
Because before that point, he was just like, I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet while you do your thing because when I try to speak Portuguese, I sound stupid. And then all of a sudden, the things fly away, and she takes off her clothes, and then they do the weird like soap opera lighting and the sparkles and stuff. And you're like, oh, that's when it clicks. Oh, so you're just lusting. Okay.
How dare you accuse it of that? It's that she is caring for his work. She understands. She's recovering the beautiful words that he's composing in his.
She loves his mind,
Even
though
though
she can't read it
Yeah.
and understand it, I guess.
Yeah. But guys, they've taken language classes for a month. They can now talk to each other.
Which also doesn't make it like they show him in a language class. Everybody else in the class is learning English and he's learning Portuguese. Why is he in that class?
That is the wrong class. I thought that too.
No, I
He's
think
not good at following directions.
I think it was you just put headphones on, you get to speak your own language in that room, which, if you're learning a language, make sure that everybody else in the room is speaking a completely different language and talking out loud.
Yeah.
Make
Then
you
that's
understand
not
the language better.
Why they had to go to the area where the secret language tapes are kept, and you can't take them away. You have to sit in the room and you use them, and then you go home.
Yes, exactly. It just didn't make any sense. I was just like, they're going across, everybody's learning English, and he's Portuguese. What? Shouldn't you just at least be sitting in a different room? Like that would make sense. That's just me. I don't know.
Nope.
A lot of things would make more sense.
Can I ask a big question about this movie?
Yeah.
Where are all the gay people?
Oh, they didn't exist back then. What are you
Well,
talking
there's definitely gay jokes in the movie. There's a lot of no homo.
There's like 2 gay jokes, and that's that's the whole. Where is everybody else? Where is everybody else? It was very weird.
Obviously, London does not have gay people.
No. Well, there's only 2 black people in all of London. There's a random Portuguese person he was in like France or something. So that was
in France,
being in London. And then it's just a bunch of white people. I mean, what else do you expect? Oh, and a couple of Americans are thrown in there.
Yeah, right. Nash, of course. Oh, and the Brazilian, the dude,
Brazilian dude. That's
Carl,
right. Yes.
Carl Empty Shell.
Yeah. Also, is Carl a popular name for Brazilian people? Like, it seems like an odd name.
It's possible his name is Carlo or Carlos, and then got anglicized.
Yeah.
I suppose that's okay.
Or maybe just nobody cares.
That's what I did to my friend Carlos from Rio when we were kids. I called him Carl. I'm joking. I call him Carlos.
You're the worst. Worst.
I was very disappointed in the Earth in 2003 because I remembered it being slightly better than that. And it turns out, you guys, it was not. It was a super bad place.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were young and you were optimistic at the time. Things were wonderful with the world.
I just didn't remember it being so straight.
Yeah.
And homophobic and transphobic.
Yeah.
Well, you were in college. So it was probably you're in one of those liberal bubbles.
I mean, well,
what about communism?
The funny thing is, like, I guess Emma Thompson is the only one who brings cross-dressers into all of this. Or what did she call them? When she pulls up the Barbie, she's like, do you want
transvestite and dominatrix.
Dominatrix, yeah, that's the only things that are available apparently in Barbie dolls. I don't know.
Yeah, there is a throwaway joke about the stag night for the wedding, Keira Knightley's wedding.
The strippers turned out to be men.
Oh, I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember someone thinking Andrew Lincoln was gay because he doesn't have a girlfriend, I think.
Yes.
So he's obviously gay for his best friend.
Yeah, because he's filming them like a creeper, but he's actually filming Keira Knightley. And I thought that was maybe going to be the start of a really interesting storyline because I haven't seen this movie in several years and forgot all of the details mostly, and then was very disappointed
Yeah.
That would be a really cool like re-edited of it, and then it's like
Ooh.
1 hour photo or something.
1 hour photo.
Oh God.
Great movie.
Like
Yeah.
I know we shit on Keira Knightley's character for her reaction to the best friend, but can we just say he's a shitty best friend too? Because like even like showing up to the house and be like, oh, don't say anything because he's upstairs and blah blah blah, and then with the cards and he's like, I did it. You're just like,
What if they both answer the door? Or he answers
Totally
the door?
normal
Like,
for a stalker.
Yeah.
it
Totally
doesn't make any
normal.
sense.
I think I can kind of let him go to an extent for a bit of it. So, because the way I see it is, she kind of mentions that she's always tried to be nice to him and that he hasn't reciprocated. And so that my impression of that was he's always felt that way about her, but he hasn't wanted to sort of mess around with his friends, so he's deliberately stayed distant. It starts to go downhill then when he films her and keeps it in his house. I'll definitely admit that. And then I think at the point that he turns up with at the house with the signs, he sort of becomes a bit unredeemable at that point for me.
Yeah. Because like, go ahead.
I don't know. You go ahead.
No, all I'm saying is that like when he comes to the house with the cards, there's a very specific intention. Like he's saying he's like not there to break up the marriage or whatever, but he totally is. If he's like, I'm here with this big romantic gesture at your new home, like you're home with your new husband, and I just want to tell you I'm in love with you. I've always been in love with you, and I'm just gonna go now. You're like, what is
I'm not here to break up marriage.
Tracy even said
it. I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Take all of this emotion. You deal with it now. It's your responsibility because you're the woman, and you were the one who caught my eye, which makes this your fault.
Yeah.
And
he also
she
said
kisses him on
it's
the
Christmas. That's why he was doing it.
Yeah.
It's like
you got to tell the truth.
You know, you
on
get a
Christmas.
free for all at Christmas. You can murder someone and a marriage.
The classic, you can only be truthful at Christmas trope that we see time and again.
Which is said like 4 or 5 times in the movie.
Yeah.
They really
kind
kind
of
of
It's a thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Christmas is usually spent with family, and in my experience, that makes it a terrible time to tell the truth about things.
That's when you get the arguments at the dinner table and the yelling and the screaming, or like, how dare you? I won't see you ever again. And 6 months later, you're like, am I coming for Christmas? Oh, okay. It's one of those things.
Yeah. But that's a thing they manufactured, right? Nobody else has ever heard that?
Yeah, no,
I've never heard that.
Okay.
And I watch a lot of Christmas movies.
Ugh.
That is not a thing. Sorry,
yeah,
Leah.
I just assumed it was like a Britain thing, you know? Like, you know how like in Japan, Christmas is for lovers and like they have KFC? I thought, you know, at Christmas you tell the truth.
I want Christmas in Japan.
In England.
We should try that.
My parents are British and they've never ever mentioned it. So I suspect it's made up for the movie.
All right. And I hate it. Let's just put it that way.
And my British family is not very truthful to each other and not super loving or show emotion. So this is my anecdotal.
Yeah. For a British film, there are a lot of emotions in this. Very shocking in general.
Yeah.
Most of the emotions are like
also the one that really bugged me was the rock star and his manager. And then he shows up after the Elton John thing and still calls him a fat loser. And then says that even though he's fat, he still loves him.
Yeah.
I thought the manager should have just went, you know what? I quit. And kick him out.
Right.
I kind of still like that storyline though. I hate to admit it. That one I actually kind of like. Bill Nighy is just so damn charming.
Also, no mention of gay people around Elton John's.
I think there's a throwaway about like you were at Elton John for an hour and now you're gay.
Yeah. He also said Elton John's party had a bunch of naked women there.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, really?
It made no sense. Like questions. Yes. Also, that really was the worst song ever, and I don't care what their campaign was. That song would never have made it to the top of the list. Just saying.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, especially with that Mariah Carey song already out there.
The movie came out. Did it? I think it did go really well. The movie came out.
God, no. Why? It's so bad.
That's kind of the joke of it.
Yeah.
I've been in my varied work history has meant that I have been in the studio while pop star records a Christmas song, and I felt like Christmas then, like I do now, not pro. And it's a it's a demoralizing experience. I think they nailed the like 3 sad guys in the control room. Just that, I would say that is the most realistic part of the movie for me. My favorite scene, Rowan Atkinson nails it hands down. Favorite character.
Quick, I need this. You have to buy this thing so that I can cheat on my wife. You're making this whole thing very awkward.
And also, he's a terrible cheater because she sees him at the jewelry stand, and she has a bag with him. Like, and if she does not now get jewelry, she's immediately going to be suspicious.
Well, but he also she finds the necklace in. That's why she's so upset about it, because she finds the necklace, expecting the necklace, and she doesn't get it. So
he also stupidly left it in his coat.
But Sean's saying that scene didn't even need to happen because he literally
it didn't.
I
did like Rowan Atkinson.
Shine.
Can't lie.
He got caught and he learned his lesson.
No, that still had to happen. It's the her finding into the jacket doesn't need to happen.
Is Rowan Atkinson like a Christmas angel because he kept the cheating husband there long enough for her to see him at the jewelry stand, and he also blocked
I love this.
the TSH or whatever you call it in England. So the kid could sneak through.
Mm-hmm.
He's Jesus.
So it's Christmas Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sucks when he shows up twice, but
I would watch a remake if it was from Rowan Atkinson's point of view, and he was actually trying to be morally keeping people above, the below grade.
Because also how he appears at the jewelry stand, there's a guy there, then he moves away, and then Rowan Atkinson turns around like out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I think he's a Christmas angel.
I like his interpretation a lot.
Well, if he was a Christmas angel, then he would have stopped that guy from going to that girl's door. What else?
He can't be everywhere at once. So
he's
an angel.
So many miracles.
He
you have to go to the airport real fast.
My God. Yeah, no. Oh wait, we didn't even talk about that gross British dude who went to America for the women.
I remember when I first watched this, I thought he was like, "Yeah, you go, dude, you get those girls." Like I was like, I look at him. Now I look at him like an incel, and he's getting rewarded.
And his friend is like, "This is the problem with your plan. These are bad. This is a bad plan." And the miracle of the movie is that just
all legitimate concerns that his friend has. I think, but the message is, if you follow your dreams, good things will happen.
We'll get into
none of those realistic things matter.
No matter how creepy and gross you are.
I forgot who were the women. It was Alicia Cuthbert and
January Jones, and one girl I didn't recognize.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, from American Pie. Denise Richards.
Yeah, and those two at the end, but there was one other girl at the bar that I didn't recognize her from anything.
That was Denise Richards at the end.
Yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
There's the girl from Girl Next Door.
Elisha Cuthbert.
Cuthbert.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie.
She's Canadian.
It's a movie I remember enjoying. Might not hold up.
It does not.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, when that part where he gets off the plane and goes to the bar and he's like, he sits down and gets his, what does he get? A Budweiser. And the girls turn around and like, oh my God. I legitimately thought 2 seconds later, he'd like wake up from a dream and he's still on the plane or something. And then it didn't happen.
Or something.
Yeah, I was like, wait, this is quote unquote real in this world? What? No.
This must be the teenage boy part of the director-writer vision of the movie.
Yeah. I guess.
Or it actually happened when he went to Wisconsin and he's just explaining the facts of Wisconsin.
And all these supermodels are at a bar.
He's in Milwaukee. That might have been the most exciting thing that ever happened.
Maybe.
Person showed up once.
I don't know. I've never been to Wisconsin. I'm sure it's lovely.
Oh my God. This movie hurt me so much as I sat and watched it. I was just like, whoa. No. And
is there anything you liked in it? Yeah. A lot of people still love it.
Is there anything I liked about it?
Yeah.
No? Am I allowed to say no?
Put up my hand.
You great dancing to the song? Like
God,
that's totally enjoyable. Like it's like there's a lot of individual things that like when they're just on screen being really talented movie stars. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's just the framework they've been put in is so horrible.
Yeah.
But
I
there's a
think
lot of
despite the many problematic aspects that I 100% agree with, I still quite enjoyed watching that movie. And like, I enjoyed sitting down and watching it with my wife. And there were certain moments that were really cringy, and there were certain moments. The biggest ones for me were basically anything once they got to Portugal, and it felt like Borat's Kazakhstan. But
Oh yeah, wow.
That especially I struggle with, and then just this totally unnecessary stuff about the sister, like just being like it was just so shitty. Like there was just no reason for it. It didn't add anything to the story at all. But overall, like I still quite like the movie. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad person thing to say. But
No.
I mean, what? Okay, once you put it that way, like if I can be like, every time Alan Rickman's on screen, except for the part where he cheats on his wife, I loved every minute of that, for example. You know, and Emma Thompson is delightful.
They're both great in it.
They're both great. And like even what's his face? Hugh Grant is fantastic in it. And just like every time I saw a new face that I was surprised at, I was like, oh my God, you're here. And then they talk for 5 minutes, but their situation's horrible. I was like, I'm glad you're here, because this would be even more insufferable if it was like a lesser actor or someone worse. But yeah, I managed to sit through it because of all the talent. Did I like it at any point? No, not really.
It would be horrible with a different cast.
Oh yeah,
it would be a horrible movie with a different cast.
Well, even with Billy Bob Thornton as the U.S. president, like I'm not a big fan of that guy, but even like in that situation, I was just like, he did a really good job. You know, come across as like smarmy but charming at the same time. And as soon as you leave the room, he's like the grossest thing ever. Yeah, that's
imagine they asked Trump. They asked Trump way back then to play that character.
Oh my God,
that'd be
amazing.
Oh, you would have nailed it. Oh, I'm so
He would have nailed it.
Gross.
Literally.
Also, you did nice fight about not Monica. I am confused. Are those legs? Is he talking about what is?
Yeah. To me, pipes is muscle, like arm muscle.
Pipes for me means voice.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
I was just like,
I thought it was like arm pipes, like he liked her muscle mass.
Okay, good. I'm glad that was
like a bodybuilder.
They kept saying she had really thick thighs. They kept saying,
bro.
They kept saying she had really thick thighs, but she always wore these tight skirts and would walk away. And I'm like, she is tinier than anything. What are you talking about?
Right.
Billy Bob and KFC. I'd like 2 pipes and 2 chicken wings, please.
Everybody would be like staring at him like, what does that even mean?
Just give him whatever.
He's the president.
Do what he wants. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, with that, I think we should start the first part of the Christmas quiz.
Ooh. Oh, wait. One more is the girl with the Brazilian guy. And then that was the most out of, because it almost seemed like a real thing, was like when she went to visit her brother. And he had different emotional reactions. But it seemed like okay, that's really what it would be like.
It seemed genuine, But that story is also problematic because it's like, I can't have love because I have a relative or a sibling who's either not incapacitated. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
disabled. Well, disabled.
Disabled. Thank you. Yeah. It's like, oh no, I can't. I'll never be happy.
Well, in this film world, where having big thighs means you're fat. You can't have a disabled relative and a relationship.
Like, I wish she ended up with Brazilian dude. I don't like that she didn't.
Sorry, he was kind of an asshole. That's
a good point. True.
Like he was. I mean, before that, he had no personality except the guy that you looked at through a window. And then I think that's a bit. In some ways, I kind of like it. It was like when she found out, he kind of wasn't worth it anyway. Like he wasn't really worth giving up on her brother.
Oh, yeah. I didn't take it that way. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
I must admit, the scene that they did later on in the episode after like their encounter and he's leaving late again and she's at her desk and she's like, good night. It did kind of seem like he's like, maybe we could try this again. Should I ask her out on a date? But then he's like, nah, never mind. And I think also in her mind, she's also given up. Like, I can't have a relationship because I have this big responsibility over here and it's going to interfere too much. And I think they should have just given it a try, essentially. Like there was room for that to happen, but they just didn't go with it.
I think maybe it's a good thing and a bad thing because there's like 19 stories in a less than 2 hour movie. None of them are really fleshed out.
It's over 2 hours.
Implied.
Yeah.
And we have to imply a lot, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, I think. And and it's the same, like all of these things seem to happen super fast because literally probably all of those stories are less than 15 minutes long if you just watch their story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keira Knightley's in 3 different scenes, maybe like wedding scene, the sign scene, and his apartment, right? And the airport scene at the end.
Yeah.
So she's only in 4 scenes.
You just reminded me
Yeah.
at the wedding, like the band starts playing, and then I was like, imagine being there. You thought like, oh, this place is crowded, and then you realize there's only 10 people at this wedding, and everybody else is like a musician,
and they're all sitting with their saxophones and trombone. Like where were they hiding them?
But Keira Knightley's a plot point, not a character in the movie, right? Like, we don't know anything about her.
Nope.
Did she already do the Pirate of the Caribbean?
No,
like
that was after.
No, that was after. Yeah.
Bend It Like Beckham, I think, was pretty much the thing she was in before this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like 15 in that. And so I was like, it doesn't seem like there was that long between. And then my wife was like, yeah, she's like 18 in this movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so gross. Yeah. When I found how young she was in this too, I was just like, why is she playing somebody who's getting married? Like it just, you can have like a high school romance or something. This part's just ugh. Like maybe she could be being asked to the prom and somebody holds up signs. That would be fine.
Also, the fact that she was 18 when she made this and the way she looks now, like she doesn't look like she's really aged at all.
Yeah.
Because she looks pretty much the exact same.
She's still quite young. I mean, well, I think that's one of the biggest problems with the film industry is that all women characters or actors are put into roles where they are played much older than they actually are. I mean, look at like Jennifer Lawrence when she did Joy. She was like 24 years old playing like a 40-year-old tired mom and stuff. And you're just like, why is she being hired for this role? I'm not saying she's a bad actress.
Because they
put
get
somebody
pipes.
better in there.
Because their pipes get too big, and then
well, a solid half of the relationships are older guys with significantly younger girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not. For the most part, they're not around the same age. I can't think of any real examples where it kind of goes the other way. Maybe.
Oh no, they rarely are because everybody gets grossed out as soon as there's like an older one with a younger guy. It's like shit breaking Stifler's mom. Like people are just like, oh, that's so wrong. Also, he's in high school, which is also gross. But people have like
so it was wrong.
It's a big deal if a woman goes the other way. But if a guy does it, it's like, good on you. You're a real man. You know how to get it.
Yeah.
Because you've got Hugh Grant and his secretary. You've got Rickman and his secretary. And, you've got
Colin Firth and the pop star.
Yeah, you've got
she's about 15, 20 years younger.
And then you've got the wedding couple and both those men. Like it's
So Colin Firth specifically, like one of the scenes where he tries to speak Portuguese,
where he meets her,
where he meets her, and
the mom is there.
It's not a monk or whatever.
It's like the handler of the place you're staying at,
cleaning service or something. And then he tries to say something in Portuguese and makes some kind of reference, and they explicitly are like, she's probably 10 years too young to understand that football reference you just made.
That's right.
And it's like it's not even they're like not even trying to just do it. being like, yes, this is exactly what we're intending to do. We're
You also
intending
reminded
to
me-
up as a
I think I
weird
saw
age.
Colin Firth's character go, "Oh, her pipes are going to
Yeah.
stay small for a long time."
Emma Thompson also calls it out to Hugh Grant when he meets her back. When he meets, I can't remember her name. When he meets her backstage behind the play,
Yeah,
she goes, "Oh, if he met you 20 years ago, you're his type."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Colin Firth would play that same role if that movie came out today, and they just cast a new young actress. But Colin
yeah,
Firth
all
would
the
just play
time.
the exact same role, and they wouldn't change it.
Yep.
Like
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
guarantee it.
Yeah. It always.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused thing. I
Yeah.
get older, they stay the same age. Yeah.
That's what I was just gonna say. I'm like, that's exactly what it is,
That's
Like
how casting.
all the cast always gets older, and then the women are always like 20 years old or younger. And you're just like, that's just gross. Just stop
Mhm.
doing it. Like I mean, the whole the one couple in the movie that look right and feel right together are Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman's character. And then that's the one they want to break apart because they're like, oh no, he's got to get somebody younger. Like,
well, even the
no.
naked couple, they didn't she doesn't look young, and
They're probably age appropriate.
Yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
age appropriate. That's true.
and also they
And-
actually seem like they actually enjoy each other's company.
Talking to each other. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one question we had about that couple, the naked couple,
Mhm.
is okay. Was it a porno? Because
To my knowledge-
it was so explicit in the section. Like, it's not just
And-
lighting a love scene. It's like
Yeah.
it was very explicit, but at the same time, pornos don't have that kind of infrastructure.
Also,
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
care
it's-
that much about lighting.
They
That's
also
the
don't
only
have
thing.
It's-
Yeah. I
And
was
he never
thinking
told
that-
Martin Freeman he was the pizza boy or the plumber.
I think he makes a comment in one of the scenes when he's with her that he was a stand-in for another celebrity or something.
Brad Pitt
Yeah.
on 10 Years into that.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
feels counter to what the rest of the movie kind of says, that because a lot of the rest of the movie is saying that love is kind of this really physical thing, I think, whereas that scene is specifically pointing out, hey, this is not physical at all. It's purely they're meeting on like a relationship minds conversational level, which I quite like. I think that scene stands, those characters stand out well in that regard.
I agree.
Whereas everyone else is just like, oh, I like that woman because she looks good. I got to go to America and sleep with all the women. I think that one really stands out. But it also just seems weird when that's not what the rest of the movie is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think the message of the movie is very confusing, to be honest. I'm like, there's no, I think I said this earlier, there's no actual love shown,
Tracy,
really. What?
all you need to do is own a company, get a secretary, and then it'll happen.
Or become the prime minister.
Yeah, become
I
prime
thought you were
minister.
chiding Tracy for the actual Love Actually.
I know.
version.
Or maybe I could lose 100 pounds, be like 130, go to England, and then be called chubby still, but work for the prime minister, and then I'll find somebody. It's gonna be amazing, guys.
Also,
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to Wisconsin.
Visit,
Oh,
like,
God.
nice pipes.
It'd be a huge thing. It'd be a huge thing. Be amazing.
Boris Johnson has like 6 kids with 6 different women, so he'll probably
Oh, it's so gross.
he's a gross.
Also, what was that pot shot to Margaret Thatcher? He's like, I bet
you
can have
saucy
that.
minx or something.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? You don't know. Some men find a woman in power sexy. Okay.
But he asked the picture, like, did you step out, or I can't remember what he asked her. It's something about like when you,
it was like
getting some bony down, or
no,
Didn't say it that
it
way,
wasn't even that explicit. It was something. He was like, I bet you had these problems, you saucy minx, or something. It was just like some sassy little context. But I did like the saucy minx comment. I'm like, yeah, she was.
So you did like something in the movie.
Okay, I liked something in the movie. Oh my god. Jeez. Also, researching this, apparently Billy Bob Thornton has a fear of antique furniture.
Okay.
What?
That's amazing. That's such a specific thing.
It could be haunted.
Only rich
specific.
people would have.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And apparently, Hugh Grant during that scene would like like get like a piece of antique something and like flash it at him, and he'd freak out right before they filmed the scene. And that was like the
I'm
joke
afraid of
on
things
set.
that have been used before.
I know. I was reading this, and I'm like, how can anyone be afraid of antique furniture? Like,
That
it's
is
just
But also-
bizarre.
Like, what would Hugh Grant have? Like, oh, it's a credenza. It's not something you can just like hide under.
He just has curtains with antique furniture hiding behind it.
And he can't go anywhere either.
yeah. They mentioned it was like a problem for him because of the abundance of antique furniture in England, and I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just old there.
It's just all of it, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. I found that really, really odd when I read it. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what? That's not normal." It's fine. Yes.
Well, it is Billy Bob. He's always been weird.
He's a strange duck.
Yeah. He's
Didn't he have a
lot.
vial of blood on? Like, didn't he carry him when he was with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she also had one of his.
Oh, that's normal. Yeah, that's
Oh,
normal.
that's totally normal. That's how you know people love each other. It's the exchange of fluids. You know.
I carry Alicia's fingernails in my in the wallet.
Oh.
All right, Mike, come here. Let me
Nice.
find a needle. Let me get a. No?
Please no. Oh my god. Okay. Anything else about this one? No.
Quiz.
All right.
Quiz.
All right.
Quiz.
All right. We're gonna do part 1 of the Christmas quiz. Woo!
Woo!
So this year I split up the Christmas quiz into 2 parts. The first part we're doing about Love Actually, and then we're going to talk about the next movie and do a quiz about that part and see who comes out on top. What up? All right. No, I have to write down the score to see who wins at the end, and I didn't have anything to do that.
So competitive.
I know. Look, we like games. We're going to make some games. All right.
It's true.
Mike, are you still there?
I'm there.
Okay. No, your video went off, so we're just checking.
Oh, that's because it fell over.
Okay, no worries. All right. So who's ready for question 1? Woohoo.
So are we buzzing in?
Oh, yes, buzzing in.
Because
Oh my
I
God.
brought a buzzer.
Oh, you did bring a buzzer. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
found this talking Steve Irwin action figure in a box of old toys.
Oh my god, that is
And I
amazing.
figured as I'm representing
amazing.
Australia, I should probably use this.
that's awesome. Because I was thinking that. Oh, that's so cool.
What's he say? I want to hear what he says.
So he's got 2. He's got Danger, 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 and that's where we're going to get. We've also got Cooey ready to strike. Can you guys hear it? Oh,
Yeah.
he's-
It's
Yeah,
a little.
okay.
It's a little crackly.
Oh, it's a little crackly in person. That's just the thing.
Okay. Because I was thinking that if everybody didn't have noisemakers, that we could just like yell out your own name. You know.
Can you make a noise?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
just
but
make a noise.
Each noise needs to be slightly different so I can properly pick out who says it.
It sucks. I have a noisemaker and it's got like farts and like ghost noises on it. I can't find it.
Oh no.
Can I use my recorder?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
There you go.
Okay. Mike, do you have a noisemaker?
I don't, but does this work?
I don't know
Hear
what that
that?
is. Oh, that
Yep,
I heard.
yep, I hear
Yes. Oh, we lost Leah. Leah's trying to find something.
She's looking for various musical implements.
Okay.
My guitar ran out of batteries, but I found a little jingly bell.
Oh,
I
that's
got a little
that's
jing-
what
Wait, I gotta get a new jingly bell.
I stole it from the cat. It's his.
I'll just do that.
Do what? What's your sound?
Here.
Perfect. That works.
All right.
All right. Are we ready for the
Sorry.
first question of the Christmas quiz?
Woo!
First question.
Woo! First question. In the wedding scene at the beginning of the film, a band is hidden amongst the guests. What song do they play when they make themselves known?
All you need is love.
Leah, woohoo!
By the way, who was the singer? It seemed like they were reacting like someone famous.
I don't think it was anybody famous.
No?
Or unless it's like somebody who's famous in England or Europe. It's not, to me, it wasn't, I didn't
England
recognize the
fans.
person at all.
Okay. Maybe it was just me.
Not a fantastic performance, but anyway.
It was like you got your friend to sing the song and they were okay at
Yeah.
singing.
Okay.
It was fine. Question number 2. Billy Mack's video for his surprising smash hit, Christmas is All Around Us, emulates a cheery version of the videos from the songs of Robert Palmer. What are the names of at least one of those songs? Mike, Suderman.
It's the Addicted to Love.
That is one. Woohoo!
What are the others?
Yeah, what are the others?
So he did 3 videos in that style: Addicted to Love, Simply Irresistible, and I Didn't Mean to Turn on You.
Oh,
Now that last song I've never actually heard of.
Sounds like a murder song.
Yeah. Said weird. Interesting. Okay. Question number 3.
It's weird that he would sing a Canadian song. Isn't Robert Palmer Canadian?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
No, but the video emulated the Robert Palmer like style with the backup dancers being all sultry and stuff.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah.
it was. Those videos.
Or the
are,
Shania
like-
Twain video.
Oh yeah, she did like the backwards version of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I enjoyed thoroughly, except for the actual song. It was fine. Okay, question number 3. What is the pendant of the necklace that Harry buys for his would-be mistress?
Ooh.
Mike Linington.
A heart? Isn't that a heart?
It is a gold heart.
Gold heart
yes.
with a little red dot.
Yes, with a ruby in it. But I'll
Oh,
give you gold
ruby.
heart. Yes.
I thought it was going to be something complex, and
Yeah, me too.
I should have just gone with my gut.
Yeah. It was Santa.
Yeah.
Something generic.
Question number 4. This actor in Love Actually had his big break playing this exceptional villain in another holiday classic.
Alan Rickman.
Leah. Yes.
Oh, duh.
I thought
Die
that
Hard
was
is a Christmas movie. They're all Christmas movies.
Okay, Die Hard. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Christmas infect everything.
Well, the thing is, so like people argue all the time about Die Hard. Is it really a holiday movie or not? And there's a lot of people who are just like, no, it's just an action movie that happens to take place at Christmas. I'm like, whatever. Gets you in the spirit. Thank you.
Oh, I was gonna say Harry Potter's around Christmas too. So
Yeah, but he didn't get his big break in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a stage actor before Die Hard.
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah. All right. So these questions get a little harder now. Okay.
They haven't been already? Oh,
They have to
last one was
first.
kind of easy. Last one was kind of easy. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Question number 5. 2 years before the release of Love Actually, Colin Firth and Hugh Grant worked together on this movie that begins in the Sean.
Bridget Jones's Diary.
Yes.
Yeah. I love those
nice.
movies.
I said,
love
why
those movies.
is that the one that you got?
I don't get Die Hard, but I get Bridget Jones's Diary. Just rip out my nerd card right now.
Seriously. Okay. Next question. How many storylines are there in Love Actually?
6.
Brandon. Incorrect.
I just guessed.
7.
Incorrect.
Ah.
I mean,
I
That
love
really
to look at all of
depends.
your faces. It's great.
It can't
it
be
really
less than
depends on
6.
how you count storylines, but here we go.
Okay.
The synopsis says 8. I count Colin Firth's wife is cheating and Colin Firth has language issues as 2 different storylines,
Oh.
Okay.
even though they both follow him.
Okay.
So I am going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Whoa.
I will say incorrect, but you are the closest. I will give you that
Oh.
because
What's
one
your answer?
storyline is arguable. It's 9. So you have the guy who goes to America. You've got Colin Firth with the Portuguese lady. You've got the married couple with the guy. You got Bill Nighy. You got the porn star Sarandons. You got the little kid in love. You got the prime minister and the lady. And you got Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman and the co-worker romance. But if you look at the wiki, for some reason they include Rowan Atkinson's role as a
No.
storyline, which makes no sense.
He's
Because he's a
on the
Christmas
Christmas
angel.
angel.
too.
I don't know.
Like he's on the
So-
cover, like he's a storyline.
But he's
Yeah.
not.
No, he's not. He's just in 2 different stories.
Did he have more? Maybe, and then
Oh,
they
we got cut.
cut it out.
Maybe.
That makes me think. Have any of you guys seen the follow up thing they did for Red Nose Day? Like
Oh.
10 years after the movie came out.
I looked it up and I was really confused as to what that was supposed to be.
Oh,
I was,
wait,
try-
yes.
I was trying
It
to
came out
find
last
it
year,
to send
right?
to you guys.
It came out last year, like when they kind of reenacted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year before, recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it during lockdown, I think. Yeah, it was last year.
So what was it?
It's like where they all are now.
Yeah.
It was kind of sketches.
Yeah,
Wait.
you got Liam Neeson and the kid on a bench, but now he's an adult.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, like stuff like that.
When you said where they are now, I was like, as actors? I was like, what? But no, it's the characters. Gotcha.
The characters, yeah.
Yeah. This is a beloved
Is it a
movie.
sequel?
No, it sounds like it was yeah.
Like I know,
Even though
it's like
it's
Brendan said, it was like little skits.
It's a big charity event.
Yeah,
right?
that's why I put it too.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
All right.
I couldn't find it. I looked it up on YouTube because I was actually going to send it to you guys before, and I couldn't find an easy way to watch it at the moment.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because of our love for this film, we will all find it ourselves and have a rewatch. You guys look so unimpressed with that answer.
I really need to know how Alan Rickman's story, turns out. That was a burning desire that I had.
I hope she
Yes,
leaves
I'd
him.
love to see him be a weekend dad with that secretary being weekend stepmom. That
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
like so much fun.
Wait, but
Yeah.
sorry, when did Alan Rickman die? Wasn't he dead?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, so I don't think he'd be part of it.
Good point.
That's very sad and depressing to think about.
I don't like
Okay.
that
Hey, you
at
still
all.
made me laugh.
You ruined Christmas.
I've ruined
Yay!
everything.
Hooray! You can all join me in misery.
Boo.
All right, we have a bonus question worth 2 points. Right?
Is this for all the marbles?
No, there's a second part that we're
For
going
2
to
marbles.
For 2 marbles. This is a bonus question. Which actor in Love Actually connects this episode of Off My Shelf to the first episode of Off My Shelf in 2021?
Oh, I should have that.
Yeah, you
I was on
should.
that episode.
So it would be a number, right? You start with numbers. Remember that.
1984.
Ooh.
No, the first episode of
No.
Off My Shelf in 2021. So this
Can we
Oh,
look in our podcast
sorry.
player? Or is that cheating?
I mean,
All right. I'm going. I'll read out the episodes. Then,
but also, Mike,
go
you
for it.
were on the first episode this year.
I was on the first episode this year and the first. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just gonna go Bill Nye.
just start saying actors.
Sadly, not Bill Nye.
Oh, I thought you wanted on Pirates or something.
Pirate Radio.
No, I'm not even at P yet. It's
I know.
coming.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Kidding. Wait, where's your there it is. Okay, wait. So I'll read out the first 2 movies. They were 12 Monkeys, 1984. So
No, of this
No. We're
year.
talking about.
oh, I'm sorry, this year.
I made that mistake too.
Can you at least give us a letter?
Was it Colin High?
No,
All right, this year.
No. no.
Because earlier I was on I Heart
How's a flat
Huckies.
circle? I don't know what.
I
Okay,
did not
Okay.
think this would be that hard, but apparently it's crazy.
I got the answer, but it's Firefly and Serenity. So it's the bad guy from Serenity. I can never say his name.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Age of
one
Four.
Keira Knightley's married to. I always screw up his name when I say it.
Julie Elijah for?
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Brendan gets it.
Ah.
I'm happy to share half the point.
I mean, I had to cheat and look up the episode.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Wow, that was tough. Okay. The funny thing is I did a quiz yesterday and I tried it on people at work and they said it was too hard, so I made it quote unquote easier. Apparently, I did a bad job at that. So
All the other questions were totally in line. But
This is a side tangent, but he is such a good bad guy.
he's so good.
He is so good. Like, he's such a great actor in general, but
Mhm.
man, he's great in Serenity.
Yeah. And he does I find he's one of those actors, even though his look is very distinct, but his career is kind of like Gary Oldman for me, where I'm like,
yes,
he's in that movie. And
That
then
was
you
him
see,
too?
like, yeah, because he's just like, he loses himself in the character and you don't think of it as him. You think of it as that character and you're just like, you're amazing at this thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Did he
when I
do
saw
remake?
Firefly, I thought, hey, it's the guy that got married in
They need to remake Fifth Element with him.
Ooh.
Oh, in the Chris Tucker role?
Just because. I
I just want to see him do the Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Gary Oldman. I see.
I
Yeah.
love Gary Oldman.
Yeah. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Also, they are not
And then
allowed
Gary
to
Oldman
remake
can
that
play the Chris
movie.
Tucker role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to start a Kickstarter campaign.
Nice.
Please don't ruin that good movie, even though it has some questionable things in it. I love that movie.
And the director is a shithead.
I legitimately watched it like 3 days ago. It was on TV, and then the original Running Man was on. Not Running Man. Oh, not Running Man. Oh, Total Recall. Sorry, Total Recall.
Yeah.
Was on, and I was just like,
Wait,
I
the
was
Colin
up till
Farrell
3
just
classic?
on such a Arnie kick. Like I was watching. Well, I watched that. I watched Conan again. I watched a couple other ones, and then I just like continued with Verhoeven. So like did Starship Troopers and RoboCop.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like you understand why Arnold Schwarzenegger is famous when you watch all of his early stuff, and you're just like, everything is so good.
Yeah.
Watch Hercules in New York. That's his first movie ever.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
It's awesome.
But they dub his voice.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's so funny. It's like an old American guy talking.
Because they insisted that nobody would understand him, but they needed his body to be like Hercules.
When they released the first teaser for Conan, where it's a scene with Arnie and he's like what is best in life, and it's like to hear your enemies,
the lamentation of their women.
Yeah, the joke, like apparently it was like a whole media thing that like, ha ha ha, he has an accent, you can barely understand him. So he had to do voice coaching after they released that scene so that he could be in the rest of the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it's true, like his earlier movies, he's a lot harder to understand than now, but also he's been living in like North America for like 50, 60 years. So I think it's it just adds up after a while. It's fine. But yes, great stuff. Talking about great stuff, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Nice
work.
Thank you. I watched this a few hours ago. To be honest, I don't have fond memories of this movie. I believe I bought it because I had never watched it, and I was like, I need to look at this movie. And then when I finally did, I was like, meh. And then I watched it today, and I was like, it's better than I remembered. I'm okay with this. Yeah. That's my thoughts about it. Any fond memories for you guys about childhood and growing up?
The first time I saw it terrified me. The Oogie Boogie was like I saw it as a small kid, and I was like, that is a creature made of worms. It's not cool. He is a bad guy. I hated it. I was like, but yeah.
Like, that's so little and sweet.
And now look at the movies you watch.
Yeah.
I regret
big
nothing.
horror fan. Nothing phases you.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I would have been well into middle school where Mike would have been watching this movie as an actual child. So for me, it was like a nice out from, it was right in line with growing up watching Beetlejuice and Tim Burton's other films. So this really nestled right into my like growing goth core, and was like, here's a way that you can approach the holidays. But then I mean, I have a lot to say about this movie, so I want to let other people get their thoughts in. But it is, what I love about this movie is the way that my understanding and interaction with it has grown as I have grown. Where I take a very different look at the movie now. I have a very different takeaway from it.
Brandon?
I, as an animator, find it crazy. It's the craziest thing ever made. Because it's like, I've worked at there's a place called Cup of Coffee, and they do all these stop motion stuff. And years ago, I worked with a guy that did these stop motion things when I was a little kid. But stop motion animators are different than any other animator. They're like kind of crazy because they'll sit in front of a hot lamp for like upwards to over 12 hours to 18 hours just to do animation, because they can only animate from frame one to, like, they can't go back in time. They have to, it's just straight ahead animation all the time. So it's just, when you meet one, they're like weird rock and roll stars. Like, they're weird people, but in a nice way. But also, like, they just, when they're working, you come across them and they're just wearing like a sweat t-shirt and like almost just underwear or shorts, because they're in a room that's boiling hot all day. So when they come out of that room, it's like either you come across them at midnight or like 6 a.m. Like, they're strange people, but they're also like the nice, like, they're so nice and friendly, because they gotta work with 4 other people for 12 to 15 hours under a hot lamp. And sometimes I guess they screw it up and they got to redo the shot every time. So watching that film, I'm like, Jesus, like every single one with 7 different characters, that's 70 different people in a room doing that shot for, they'll do some of those shots, like the oogity boogity ones were took them 4 months to do some of the shots. So it's like a 12-hour day.
Of all stop motion feels especially kind of tactile, more so than even some other stop motion things. Like, the thing that really kind of blew my mind is like, there's real fur on some of the characters and real beards. They're not plasticine, so they weren't necessarily sculptable. Like,
they switch out the faces and stuff.
Like getting that stuff to sit right and not move in funny ways would be really, really hard.
The textures, really jumped out at me, especially the liquids, the fountain, the pots, all the fog with and then the overlay in camera.
The guy with the melting face.
Zero. I don't understand Zero. Like, did they he's also like stop motion, but they film him. They either roll back the film or they put another film over top. So that movie's so old, I think they roll back the film and then one guy goes in and animates Zero into the scene. Wow, it looks amazing.
Or they like, because he's see-through, so I think they just splice another film on top sometimes.
He's composite.
There's an amazing behind the scenes. I think it's just on YouTube now. When I was a million years old, because I'm a million years old, when I was younger, it was at the end of the Nightmare Before Christmas VHS, but there's like a half-hour behind the scenes featurette that really helped me solidify how insane the amount of work is. And I have a very, very visceral memory of learning that a lot of those sets were built on essentially tables that could be pulled apart so that the animator could pop up into the middle of the scene. So if you can imagine like 6 giant folding tables, all with Halloween Town erected on them, and then one dude coming up just like, all right, I'm going to move this guy a 16th of an inch. And then we're going to, okay, all right, everybody come back under the table and we're going to take a picture. Just bananas. And watching it again this time, like Mike, you were saying, those all of the shots where the camera moves, especially in the Oogie Boogie, like where the table is spinning, there's multiple characters and the camera's moving, just a bananas amount of logistics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I imagine some of the shots when because sometimes you do screw up and then it's like, oh, that's a week's worth of work. I got to reshoot that again. And I can't imagine like I guess I work with different animators, but like I imagine they get to a point where it's not even a point to like get mad or yell because you got to get it done. So they just probably just take a deep breath and just restart reshooting it again.
Yeah. And unlike a film set, it is probably harder to replace somebody when you are 8 months into a 2.5-year shoot. It's not like that extra has been inappropriate, hoof them off the set and get somebody else in their shot, or that grip drops something valuable, out they go, which is more the norm on a regular set.
It's weird. The stop motion people I talk to, like when they started, they'd be from different animation things and then they get into stop motion, but like to do a test to become an animator, they have to do it's almost like trial by fire. Like they just got to go into a room and they're given like a character and they're like, hey, make it do this and this. And then they have to spend the next 8 hours doing a test to potentially get a job. So it's like, it's just great. Like, I don't remember ever doing something like that.
I think I would cry.
Yeah.
It's almost
they get really
the psychological testing they do for like somebody who has to work in a submarine.
Or astronauts. Yeah.
They're like, oh
like
yeah. Are you physically capable and emotionally capable of just being locked in a room with people for that long?
Right.
Yeah.
While doing highly detailed work.
Yep.
Sean, what's your thoughts?
The movie?
Yeah.
Well, this is only my second time seeing it. Even though I love stop motion, I never saw this as a kid for some reason. I don't know why. So I think I watched it for the first time last year during lockdown.
Oh, really?
Wow.
There was a whole bunch of movies on my list that I had never seen, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna knock a bunch off.
Mhm.
This is one of them, and I love it. I love this movie. The songs are great. The voice acting's awesome. As we talked about, the stop motion's amazing. Yeah, this is a great movie.
Actually,
Danny
that was
thing
another
I
Danny
found-
Elfman.
Yeah.
The music, yeah.
Oh yeah, but he did. I think he originally went before the final cut of the songs and the voices. I think he did 3 of the characters, voices
makes sense.
for the thing, and then also I think he would get asked oh, in this scene we're doing this and this, and then he'd go away and then come back in 4 days and he'd have an awesome song for the thing.
Yeah,
It's
he
pretty
said
cool.
it was super easy to write all of the music for this movie and all of the lyrics and stuff. He was just like, oh, that's not a problem
Well,
for you.
I mean, I love this movie so much, but also I do feel like it suffers from the themes being too similar, the music being too similar. I think that the callbacks are Danny Elfman's style is so unique and identifiable that I do think one of the failings of the movie is potentially allowing Danny Elfman total individual control. And I think it might have been a better movie for somebody with a little bit more, somebody who would have pushed him to do a little bit more musical movement.
He's
just gonna put it out there.
singing voice as well, right?
Yeah, he's Jack's singing voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find one thing I did not remember of this movie. I remember there were songs in the movie. I remember that part, but it's there's a song and then there's somebody says 3 words and there's a song, then there's 4 more words and there's a song and then there's 2 more words.
Huh.
And I was like, that's way too much singing. It just seemed to be there's no dialogue. There's no I know they push the plot forward in the music and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I am not a musical person. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but I don't mind songs and things. But for me, it was too much. I was just can you just say I'm gonna walk over here instead of singing a 3-minute song about walking over there? That would be awesome.
When I also found, so Tracy, just to follow up on that, for me, it's wall-to-wall music. So even when there are no songs, you're hearing the same things, so the same
background.
themes underneath.
Mhm.
The
And I
scores
think
is
that
similar.
yeah, there are points at which we could have heard little to no music and I think that's part of it, is that it just fatigues you to hear the same themes revisited with no break over and over.
Throughout the whole
If you've
thing.
never played the Kingdom Hearts games, you've heard those themes for hours.
I mean, I can listen to it for
familiar
hours,
with
but
it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think for me, the music as well, I don't know. I feel like the best songs are stacked really early. And I actually, overall, I think the movie for me as a story. So I grew up with the movie. My brother's a massive fan, and I really liked the movie.
Mhm.
But as a story, it's not my favorite. What I like about it is the visuals. I really enjoy the music, but I think the best music's towards the beginning. And for me, a lot of what I like about it, and I guess what I took about it, was the iconography and the cultural kind of aspects of it growing up. So it was a big part of the image of Jack Skellington was a big part of punk and emo culture.
Yeah.
So actually, so me and Tracy met when we lived in Japan, and that was peak emo. So I saw I saw the Black Parade, Black Parade, the Black Parade in Japan. So we were right in amongst it, and Japan loves Nightmare Before Christmas.
I Hold on.
It was
I also think we
everywhere.
went out one day and like bought like stuff.
We
Like,
did.
Jack
We
Sounds
were
and stuff.
buying a birthday present for my now wife.
Yes, that's right.
And
Oh,
I
that's
included
fun.
Nightmare Before Christmas stuff because it was important to me. But there was like every shop that sells anything remotely collectible had Nightmare Before Christmas stuff while we were there. And actually, I went back a couple of years ago, and there's still a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff.
really?
Maybe not as much as there was when we were there. But it was huge. It's so popular there that there's a character called Vampire Teddy who is in 2 shots of the movie. They have their own merchandise range.
Vampire Teddy.
They are as popular as Jack
It sounds like
Skellington.
Star Wars merch.
Yeah.
I know.
Vampire Kitty, I would argue, in Japan is Vampire Teddy. Sorry, is as popular as Jack Skellington, despite being in like 2 shots in the whole movie.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know who the character was.
That's amazing.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a specific note for the podcast about how cute that guy is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be ordering some
You
merch.
can get Vampire Teddy stuff if you want it. You might just need to look
Can
on
we
some
get one that
Japanese
just floats around behind me
website.
forever? Yes.
But yeah, very much like Jack Skellington, and I mean, if you look at the My Chemical Romance Black Parade outfits, they're clearly inspired by Jack Skellington. Like it was, to me, maybe that's more important to me. I actually started to nod off in the second half of the movie. I watched it recently with my son as well, but I started to nod off in the second half of the movie. But that first half with the "This Is Halloween" theme, and then "What's This" as well is the other big one for me.
Yes.
Like to me, those are the 2 big, really, really good songs, and 2 really different scenes as well, because it's the first time we see Halloween Town and then the first time we see Christmas Town. And to me, those are the 2 best parts of the movie. And then after that, it works as a movie, but I feel like
It's just playing out the thing that it's set up, the premise. So
exactly.
like you're like, okay, he's overreached, and now things have to be set right. And so it just kind of is like you're just watching the dominoes fall rather than like there's new interesting things in the story.
Yeah,
definitely.
My thing. So, Leah, you kept talking about like the themes coming back up in it, and that's what can be kind of frustrating. But do you mean that like I found throughout the movie, This Is Halloween and What's This? They kept reprieving those songs with just switching up the lyrics. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah. The musical themes, like they will use, a bar or 2 of the main songs of Jack's Lament, of Sally's Lament, of This Is,
and I have a. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No. I was just gonna say that. Musically, they come up and up and up again, and I think it does contribute to the fatigue because later in the movie you get "Kidnap the Sandy Claus" and you get Oogie Boogie's song. And those are like really different points, but I think at that point, you get such a for me, I get such a musical fatigue that it is one of the reluctant criticisms that I have of the movie. Yeah,
like I found it like it kept getting boring to me because of like they kept using the same bars throughout it, and you're just like, no, that's the same song, just slightly different lyrics. And like I get what you're doing, but I think we need a different song, another song to be like, bring people back into all of it.
Yeah. And it's interesting for a movie that never gets boring visually, right? Every shot for me is an absolute delight. And there's something different for me to like feast on and look at in different details. But I'm also going to tee you up a little bit. So about saying that Danny Elfman was kind of, a genius who was allowed to do too much and maybe didn't maybe could have used some other artistic input and maybe listened to other people a little more. I feel like that might be one of the themes we could talk about in that movie where Jack Skellington is just like as you're talking about changing your view on dudes. Yeah. So when I talk about coming back to this movie from a different frame of mind, like this is absolutely, the more I watch this movie, the more it is the story of a woman who escapes from a domineering patriarch to the uninterested arms of a self-obsessed, grandiose, inconsiderate would-be visionary, would-be artist, would-be revolutionary. And I think we've all had that pendulum swing too far and then readjusted ourselves. Maybe that's just a ladies thing. I don't know. Maybe it's not. But,
Not Tim Burton.
No. Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, absolutely. This becomes for me more and more an interesting story about Sally and how the film seems to be clear, as Sandy Claus says at the end, she's the only one who makes any sense around this insane asylum. She is, but also the film, I think, does perhaps too subtle a job of validating Sally's ability and agency. And she throws herself out of a tower. She literally sews herself back together. She is the only one who can sew Jack's Christmas Santa Claus outfit. And even though it is a feminine area of work, the ability to sew, it's still something valid that she has that nobody else has. So even though it's not really given its due weight in the film, it's still something that like other characters may not recognize it as such, but the film itself recognizes that is a talent that she has. Same thing with cooking and potion brewing.
Yeah,
right.
She's the only one who creates
Yeah.
new things, right? Like
Yeah.
the scientist created her, but didn't want to, and so ultimately ends up recreating himself.
Yes.
Jack Skellington just goes back to being better at creating Halloweens over and over again. But if you give Sally a Santa outfit, she's like, oh yeah, I can make that, despite the fact that it's outside of the entire thing that I do. And
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way in which I talk about revisiting this movie, is just going from looking like this is a story about Jack and the dreams that he had and the thing that he tried, to just a story about Sally and everybody just constantly being insane around her.
Yeah.
She's got the most going on because she's the only character I think in the movie that has a history. Like she has this kind of traumatic upbringing and all of those things. We don't know what happened to Jack prior to the Halloween at the beginning of the movie, and we never really find out, except that he's had many, many Halloweens. And all of the other characters are pretty much one-note characters. They're a visual thing or a joke more than they are a character. Where she's like a legit character that changes and develops, and even Jack doesn't really develop. Like he tries something and it doesn't work and he goes back to what he did before.
He kind of learns part of a lesson where he doesn't actually learn it, but he comes close to learning it when he tells Oogie Boogie, how dare you treat my friends so shamefully. He almost gets to the point where it's like, that was me, I should, but he doesn't apologize to Sally because he's not a fully realized adult who's able to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think
he's in charge of all the emotions.
Yeah,
just like the other movie. There is a thematic link.
Like, I guess so. Oh, we found
also significantly older than her, so that rings true as well.
Well, I think going back to what Leah said about Sally, about her throwing herself out the window and stuff, it also shows that the cultural view of women being able to literally pull themselves back together, and the lengths women would go through to say, quote unquote, save the day, right? Like she rips herself apart several times throughout the film, sews herself back together, and it takes all of that for somebody to acknowledge the fact that she could possibly be right, but will not apologize for themselves being wrong, but will be like, now I can accept you because I guess you made me slightly better, I have to fight this movie too. Yeah. And then you're just like, oh my God, she literally ripped her leg off, ripped her hands off, saved the day. And only one person acknowledges that, like, she's the sane one. Everybody else is crazy.
I think you're ignoring, the trials and tribulations that the scientist goes through. He drank every nightshade. That's not, he had to pull himself back together too.
No, you may have a hard time. All he had to do was wake up. Like what?
He had to put a little ice bag on his tiny head.
Oh, that's true.
He
The
had
ice
such a
bag.
headache.
Probably groggy all day long.
Yeah.
Of course, scientist.
Poor
I,
scientist.
Also, he can open his brain and scratch it, which is awesome.
So
Oh,
good.
yeah. He can also give half his brain to
Makes the-
phone or whatever.
Which I'm surprised, like when he took out half, he didn't just start to drool automatically. Be like, ooh.
Yeah.
I thought that was
So that would be a full frontal lobotomy. Apparently, that's a whole different thing.
so.
If you,
The hemisphere is a different.
yeah, people can, I think, exist with like everybody's different and diminished capacity, but if you chop your brain this way. I'm for the podcast audience horizontally from ear to ear. The frontal lobe is obviously like where a lot of the like lobotomized.
You're right.
If you imagine
Which is demonstrated in the movie by the guy who's got the axe in his head.
Yeah,
Looks like the Easter Bunny and says bunny.
yeah.
As you can see, his brain function is impaired. Please continue.
Yes, but a other one like we could get into like nonsense about left brain, right brain stuff, but theory, but like because that'd be a fun thing if he put his creativity into one person and then they constantly bicker. But that's more anyway.
Well, I
guess
mean,
Brains, hooray!
You've got all the pieces that you need of a brain to function. They're just not complete. Versus you're missing half a brain, like missing some very important parts of the brain.
Right. Yeah.
well, according to so he kept his right brain and he gave away his left lobe of his
There
brain.
you go.
So
The lady would have the language center.
yeah.
Fun.
So therefore, he can have great conversations and he can picture them in his head. There you go. Science. See, you learn things here. It's fine.
Speaking of science,
Mhm.
this is on this viewing, my big takeaway here. Jack, clearly, he wants to reduce Christmas to a formula. Very cute. I like the way that they went about that.
Mhm.
The face that he makes when he boils the candy cane and it's a noodle. That's a figurine. Anyway, I really love that as a moment of showing the potential for like a deep emotion. Like it's a true confusion. Anyway, neither here nor there. The point is he wants to understand this phenomenon scientifically, and he wants there to be a formula that resolves scientifically.
Mhm.
But bear with me a moment. What if instead of going to Dr. Finkelstein, Jack had asked the witches to help him find this elusive magical component of Christmas? You have witches in your town who could maybe help you with the magic part of things.
Well, I
want to watch that movie.
like he understood that Christmas Town was different and he understood it made you feel a different way. But I think the reason why he went to the scientific method is because he didn't realize, quote unquote, the magic of Christmas. So he went the most logical way possible. But yes, I would be curious to see what antics would happen if he went like, I got the witches to like brew something, and together instead of like double toil and trouble. It's like, that kind of stuff.
I don't think he values the people of Halloween Town very much. Like, unless there's someone that he specifically knows can give him the thing that he wants. Like, pretty much the whole part of the movie is that him saying, "No, you're doing that wrong. Go back and try again." Yeah. Like, and you don't understand Christmas. I'm the only one that understands Christmas, despite he doesn't understand Christmas.
Mhm.
But
He's supposed to be the leader. He's a bad communicator. And also, he has no faith in his vision because as soon as he realizes that he's not communicating well about what makes Christmas exciting, he just abandons it and gives the people what they want in order to stay in power. So being the leader of Halloween Town is what he wants, much more than conveying his vision. So I don't understand why he puts everybody through all this. But I have never been a teenage boy, so what do I know?
I mean,
it's really hard.
You shouldn't be trusted if your main interaction with the people of Halloween Town, other than specific interactions, is two-faced mayor politician. Like I feel like the trust should be low. But yeah, I feel like this movie is like Dunning-Kruger effect.
Oh,
in,
oh,
you know,
boys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, oh, I know a little bit about this. It can't be that hard. I'm smart. I'll just, it's all good. I know
Your whole
everything
life
about
you've
it.
been told you're a genius by the people of the town that you're in. You've been told you can do no wrong. So why would you ever expect that you can? Like you
Exactly.
just assume you're always
Exactly.
right, and you assume it's going to work out because it always does.
Mhm.
Yeah, it made the walls fall, crack. Jack, you made the very mountains crack, Jack.
Yep.
Right. We all know that gifted kids always come out of gifted kid upbringing with no issues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all real normal.
Yep.
Speaking of gifted kids, I did a Halloween display this year, and so Halloween's not really traditionally been a thing in Australia, but the last few years it's become a lot more popular. And I live in an area with a lot of young families, so like in my street, we had 3 or 4 houses that decorated and did like pretty big displays and had kids come through. I think we had we went through hundreds of pieces of candy, so like it was
Neat.
pretty cool. I met one
Halloween's
little boy.
going kind of suppressed here because of the lockdown. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's interesting
I'm
that
in
it's having a
Tasmania,
resurgence.
which is largely it's an island, and we haven't had any cases for a long time. So we largely have been living normally. Just we can't go anywhere. So we didn't do Halloween last year because of lockdowns. So I think this year people were ready. Just because there's no concerts, there's no nothing going on. So people were just like ready to do stuff. So like we went and spent way too much money on Halloween decorations, and like multiple people in our street did this. We had all of these kids coming through, and one of the things I had going was just like a little Bluetooth speaker playing some Halloween songs, and This Is Halloween was one of them. And I met this boy. I think he's about 5 or 6. And that song started playing, and he'd been there chatting with me for a while because he came quite late, so there wasn't a lot of other kids. And he said to me, I watched Nightmare Before Christmas recently. And I was like, oh, what did you think of it? And he said, it blew my mind. It was so cute. And he was like such a well-spoken little boy. Like he was clearly one of those thinkers, and he'd taken a lot away from it. But yeah, he just loved, it was clearly he just loved that movie, and he loved the dark, kind of creepy stuff that I loved when I was a kid. Like it could have almost been like talking to me when I was little, because Nightmare Before Christmas came out when I was a bit older. But certainly things like Gremlins and things were very much my kind of creepy Christmas vibe as a kid, and I'm very much kind of the weird kid. So meeting this kid that was that into Nightmare Before Christmas was just like it was super cute, super nice. It was a very wholesome experience when he's sitting there playing with like haunted dolls and things in the front part of my garage. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, this is one of the few movies that you can watch 2 seasons, like Halloween and Christmas, and it's perfectly acceptable that this is like goth Christmas fun. You're like, all right, we will accept this. It's all good.
If I must deal with Christmas, this is the way in which I would like to deal with Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, this just showcases why I know this movie isn't directed by Tim Burton, but it's based on like stuff that fell out of his brain. But it's very clear as to why goths like him, and like everybody kind of likes Tim Burton movies because they're just interesting, and you see like he has
Not the new ones.
Like, what do you mean? Like, which one?
Oh God! Like I have to pull them up, but
the Alice in Wonderland ones.
Yeah,
the Alice in Wonderland ones suck.
Willy Wonka.
I don't know how I feel about
I think the last movie I liked of his was, because I do like musicals, was oh God,
Sweeney Todd?
The barber one.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Sweeney Todd. Yeah. That's the last Tim Burton movie I think I've liked.
I did.
That was
like
a long
Dumbo.
time ago.
I know a lot of people didn't like Dumbo.
I haven't seen
didn't
Dumbo.
see it.
Weak, but I liked it a lot.
Okay.
All right.
I have actively refused to watch the live versions of any of the Disney movies. I can't do it. I don't need this in my life. And even when you watch the cartoon version of Dumbo, that shit is heartbreaking and destroys your soul from the inside. But you
The
get
live
it.
action one's very different to that. But it's very much a Tim Burton movie, which I think is why I enjoyed it because I like Tim Burton when he's really being Tim Burton. I'm not really a big fan of him doing Planet of the Apes. That doesn't appeal to me at all. But when
that was so bad.
Creepy tall thing with stripes. I'm kind of all there for that.
He did Mars Attacks, right?
Yeah, he did. I love
that. Was kind of fun.
Yeah,
I like that. My favorite Tim Burton movies is actually Big Fish, which is arguably slightly less of a Tim Burton movie visually.
I need to rewatch that one.
I think those two, Mars Attacks and Big Fish, he didn't do well at the box office.
Yeah.
No,
like Mars Attacks, definitely. Like people, well, I mean, people did go see it, and like you saw it, and you're like, oh, this is pretty good. But then, like, media really did not like it.
Yeah. Critics hated that movie so much.
Yeah, and it just
spent huge amounts of money on a movie where they deliberately made it look kind of crappy. So, like, they lost a lot of money into it, and probably they could have done it a cheaper way.
I got to rewatch Big Fish. I saw it once. It was one of the few times, like it was one of the first times I got like really high. So my memory of the movie is not great.
It's visually too. It's actually one of his brighter movies and more colorful movie because it's very like the colors are very saturated in it, and it's meant to be extremely whimsical because most of it is a retelling of like memories and stuff. So like it plays on that kind of thing. And I just love I know I'm a real cynic about all this love nonsense and whatever, but that's one of the few movies where I'm just like oh, like it's just fuck. It got me, like it makes me angry. Yeah.
Also like that one. It's Tim Burton kind of I think people expected a certain level and want, like with his earlier stuff from, everything from Batman to Edward Scissorhands. I don't know. Did he do Pee-wee Herman's Adventures?
Yeah.
One of the movies. Like they're all like similar because they're what he did, but also they had their own specific different styles in a way. Like they were, I don't know. I think like people expected he'd be like Spielberg, but it's like why like they expect like everything he comes out with it's going to be like smashing and awesome and
right.
I think in recent years he's done a lot of remakes and things, and like because he did the Alice ones that I think were I think were just kind of people just forgotten.
There's CGI nonsense, like it looks so bad. Sorry,
he did Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, whichever one it was, which I actually thought was pretty decent. But then it's going to be compared to the original, like to Willy Wonka, which you're always going to be compared to that movie. I think, I think it was good for what it was, but it didn't kind of probably need to exist because people still watch that original movie quite fondly, but. Yeah, it did. It maybe didn't push far enough away from it in the other direction to be something really different either. Yeah,
same with Planet of the Apes. Like he should have just, like there was interesting things about it, but then it was like, oh, this isn't any better at all.
Yeah, not even close.
Well,
some of the things were cool, like that the bad guy chimpanzee, like Tim Roth's character. He looked kind of cool, but then when they like you just picture the actor in a monkey suit and you're just like, oh, this is like, in the 70s it was really awesome, but now it's like, you got 3D and CG and stuff.
Yeah, like I know his newer films are not great, like story wise, editing, like they just don't make any sense, a lot of them, right? But all of them still have that like super distinctive visual style, and like they're beautiful movies to look at, no matter how shitty the movie actually turns out to be. Because even in like Planet of the Apes, like you were saying, Sean, the makeup and stuff was like really like cool and good and like well done. It was just badly used and kind of stupid. Like
the story is awful.
Yeah, the story is awful and stuff. So also, like that's one thing I will give to him.
Also, Mark Wahlberg as a scientist is
he's played a scientist so many times.
Yeah, but every time he plays a scientist, he's like he should be a high school scientist. What's that? The Happening?
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say the
anybody ever look at the bees? And I was like, oh my god, this movie.
Actually, I I've never
think
seen The
it's the
Happening. I'm
wind.
okay with that.
We
Yeah.
should have a bad movie night and watch it. It's so funny.
Oh god.
When they realize it's plants and there's like a house plant in the room, and they're just like, they're all so scared of it.
The plants listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell if it's for comedy or if it's just because the movie's bad. I remember in theaters, people was bursting out laughing.
I mean, I'm back in because one of my favorite movies and books of all time is The Ruins. And I just think it is such an unbelievably effective horror movie and horror book. And so if you haven't watched it, go watch it immediately.
Wait. I love that movie too. That's in the Mexican pyramid, right? The
Yeah.
tourists get stuck in the vines.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that one too.
There's a book.
Yes. The book is fast and
I love
nasty
that
and
movie.
brutal and so great. And go
Okay,
read
I'm
it
adding it to my wish
immediately,
list.
and you'll read it in an afternoon, no matter what else you have to do.
Thank you.
Anyway,
I had
that
no
was all
idea.
to say. I am in for anything involving dubious houseplants.
Is it by Scott Smith? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm so happy.
Sean's on it.
Oh man. Oh, Sean, I'm so excited for you.
He's already writing his letter to Santa. Dear Santa.
Can't believe it. Sean's night's been ruined.
Santa / Mumsy. Wait, what's the wish list? All right, sorry.
I know we kind of moved past Danny Elfman a bit, but we did kind of talk about Tim Burton's legacy and how maybe it's not as good as his promising start would have implied. I think Danny Elfman is like, because obviously with Batman and then Nightmare Before Christmas, I guess Tim Burton is kind of really responsible for him being such a huge part of pop culture that he is today. Like, he's a massive part of so many movies and franchises. Like,
Simpsons.
for me, like, I watched Spider-Man, the Maguire ones, the Raimi films again pretty recently.
Men in Black.
And,
I love
like,
the Men in Black one.
Yeah, that soundtrack is just so
So
important to those movies. And it is a huge point of difference from, like, he really got, I think, the weird and sort of strange aspect of Spider-Man that maybe the more, like, I love the more recent movies, but I don't think they quite get that bit. Like, that Spider-Man was this kind of creepy, he's a bit of a creepy weirdo. Like, he's got this full body suit and no one knows what he looks like underneath, and he shoots webs at people out of his wrists, and like, there is a creepy
it's a
aspect.
puberty
Yeah.
Well, at least he's not like a real
Am I wrong?
spider.
Yeah,
It's not coming out of his butt or
I just try
nothing.
not to think about
Well,
it.
Sean, you are drinking that eggnog.
Oh no!
Everybody
I switched to scotch. I ran out.
Every dude needs to learn at some point. You can't just spray that all across town.
Can't be a web slinger.
You can't be a web slinger.
Because Spider-Man was co-created, because obviously there's the Stan Lee aspect, but the Steve Ditko aspect, I think, of Spider-Man sometimes gets forgotten. And he was the co-creator of Doctor Strange as well, which was like the two really kind of odd out there heroes of those early Marvel comics. And I love that the Raimi films get that almost, like, even the scene where he transforms in the first one, there's like the body horror aspect. And I think Danny Elfman's score just perfectly kind of keeps that tone throughout. So even when he becomes more heroic, he's still weird. Like, he's still, there's still that sort of creepy vibe to those that those movies have. And I think we see that. I don't know. For me, that's Danny Elfman. Like, you recognize his music right away.
Yeah. Well, I think too, with the Spider-Man movies, like you were saying, the music helps you realize that being a superhero is cool and stuff, but it's still weird. Like, it's weird, you know, like having these powers, doing all this nonsense, the people attacking you, and you're like, I can't even go to the grocery store. You know, some guy's gonna throw a bomb and try to like do whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll be back. Whatever, you know. It makes you remember, like, this shit's weird. Don't think it's normal. Don't think you're gonna like it. Yeah, it's messed up. It helps the music.
What's Danny Elfman done most recently? I'm trying to think of.
That's a good question.
I can't think either.
I mean, The Simpsons is still on.
Oh,
so
God.
he's still
every half
cashing
hour.
checks.
Yeah, every half hour that TV exists in the world, Danny Elfman becomes richer.
Cha-ching, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it is quite beautiful. At the top of his thing is The Simpsons still.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know he was
It's
part
very
of Oingo.
important.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
know
don't
he
recognize.
was-
Yeah. But like,
He was in Oingo Boingo?
He's
Yeah,
the 50
yeah.
Shades of Grey score.
he was only
Oh,
going
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Jeez. He did the what? It's not even the first one. It's the second one. It's the 50 Shades Darker.
Oh, that's when they
Way
fired
better
on
than
the
the first
actual
one,
creative
Tracy.
team, and we're
Believe
just
you
me.
like,
Yeah.
Is that a reference to anal?
I don't
50
know.
Shades Darker?
Oh my god. I'm not answering that question.
Okay.
Apparently
can
on
I pull things back in?
Yeah.
If I could, I have a few small moments from The Nightmare Before Christmas, the movie that we started talking about 3 hours ago. that,
Sure, go ahead.
I would just is now a good time?
Yeah, of course.
I love so much Glenn Shaddix, who played Otto in Beetlejuice and who is the mayor here. Just R.I.P. A truly gifted voice, but also many additional voices are contributed by Greg Proops, who you guys probably know from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep.
Those of you with a 2-year-old might know him from Bob the Builder.
Great voice actor.
possibly only the American Bob the
Oh,
Builder.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
In any case, the point is an unexpected delight. And most evident, you can hear him in the line, "Won't they be impressed? I am a genius," which is what the Harlequin demon sings in Making Christmas while he's making a hat out of a dead rat, and Jack suggests a bat. And it's just a really nice, he's also the sax player in the band. It's just a really neat thing to hear. All of the additional voices are so great. But going back to the mayor, one of the things that I love so much is when Jack has wandered off and he's going to Jack's house to try to find him, and he says, "I've got the plans for next Halloween," and they're literally just a drawing of like a bat and a cat and some notes and measurements. I am into that. I would like to see those notes. It's such a great detail.
Yeah. And what's great is like I love the Lego movie with Liam Neeson being the like good cop, bad cop with this flipping head. And this is it's like a straight up
homage, let's call it.
Let's call it an homage to the mayor. Yeah. What other small cool things are there? There's so.
So is he the voice that goes, "Hey, Bo Daddy," as he walks past? That's my favorite bit.
I love the three little kids. I don't know what their names are.
Oh, Lock, Stock, and Barrel.
Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Lock, Stock, and Barrel. Thank you. Everything they do.
Shock.
I just have a giant smile on my face. Like I love the Santa Claus song, the kidnapping Santa Claus song is my favorite song. Just them laughing, them conniving. I love it.
Their faces are scarier under the masks than
the
masks that they wear.
Everything about them is best.
I do enjoy the vampires having little umbrellas for the sun.
Yes.
I love everything about the vampires. Every time they show up, I'm so happy. Every little small singing part they have is so great.
The werewolf with the tight flannel shirt, he's grown and his shirt doesn't fit anymore. I was a werewolf for Halloween one year back in university, and I wore a flannel shirt. And it was only when I was watching this movie that I was like, "Oh, that's why I chose a flannel shirt for that costume." I only now realize.
There's a really lovely moment where the mayor is trying to use his megaphone, and there's something in it. He's trying to use it to listen in on Jack talking to Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and it doesn't work. There's something in it, and he thumps a spider out of it, and it turns out it's the spider that is his bow tie. So he puts it back on his chest and then thumps it back, and then there's a little squeak. There are so many throwaway moments that would have taken time and foresight to film, even in a regular movie, that in that throwaway gag might have taken 2 weeks to film because this movie's so insane. And so I appreciate them so much, and all of the Foley work is so great. All the sound effects are so great. It just the underneath the music, there is a whole other soundtrack that is so beautiful.
Yes.
I like the clown, and he says, "I am the clown with the tearaway face," and he pulls his face off. Like clowns with tearaway faces, a thing that we always see. I've never seen a clown with a tearaway face before.
But as soon as they said it, it was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." I'm in for this.
Of course,
there's some amazing creatures in this movie.
Yes.
I also appreciate the fact, if this movie was made now, it wouldn't have been proper voice actors. It would be like Seth Rogen and Chris Pratt and just super well-known people who generally just use their own voice. And that always takes me out of the movie. it always takes me out of new animated movies.
I mean, I think
Yeah, like
sometimes it works, and sometimes you're just like, no, why are you?
No.
I think that's why there's this big backlash against like Chris Pratt being hired for like several
Mario.
animated films recently.
He's gonna be
where they're
Mario.
Like that doesn't
What?
make any
Mario
sense.
and something else at the same
Mario
time.
people
isn't it?
Yeah, that are ridiculous. He's not a great voice actor.
No, and
I hope
also
he
he's
does.
got
I
other
hope he
issues.
does do Mario, and I hope he does an Italian voice.
Oh,
It would make me
So
so
bad.
happy.
That should just stop him
bad.
being hired for anything else.
Hey, it's me! But it's like a really bad Italian.
I love a meatballs.
Yep.
I'm a spaghetti.
Yeah, he just names.
I do think
Yeah.
My country looks like a
Donkey Kong
boot.
kind of works though.
Yeah, like,
I think
because-
we're going to be a good Donkey Kong.
It's weird because that was already like a thing that was happening in the 90s, but they still put on voices. So like obviously Catherine O'Hara is like recognizable, but
Right.
at the same time she's putting on voices. And then like Toy Story, which I think is a similar year, like same year or one or two, either way, like it's like Tom Hanks is like, you know, he was a big deal at the time, but he's putting on a voice
Yeah.
instead of being like,
So is Tim
what I
Allen.
mean is like he
Yeah.
was already a big thing. Like
Yeah.
he
Yes.
well, if you're paying for
as a big thing.
yeah, if you're paying for Tom Hanks, like these days it would be like, oh, so you should sound like Tom Hanks. You shouldn't sound like Woody. You should
Mhm.
sound like Tom Hanks. And that's not that. Like back then there still seemed to be that space where it's like, oh yeah, he's still a
Yeah.
celebrity voice, but like you got to do a voice, you know, you can't
Yeah.
just
Do they
Like,
really
Catherine
think
O'Hara,
10-year-olds give a crap if it's, I don't know, Seth Rogen as the voice of, blah, blah, blah? Like, no,
but the
I don't
parents
get
that
it.
Buy the film, dude.
Do they, though? Like, do they really care?
I
I
think
yeah,
you're a
I
parent.
think there was a period. Well, there is like I remember like Toy Story and stuff like that where my brother would like specific, or even the Harry Potter stuff. He was like, oh yeah, well, you knew like he would enjoy certain things so he would like, you know, rent this or that or get the kids to watch these things because he knew, oh, that person's in it. That type of thing. Oh, that was a funny side story is I took my niece when she was 5 to go see Willy Wonka, the Tim Burton one. And then there's a scene where she turns into a blueberry. And then, of course, I wasn't even thinking about it, but I bought her Frogurt with blueberries in it. And she looked at me terrified and then looked at her yogurt as the scene was happening. But she went, oh, I don't feel good. And then I had to go stand outside in the hall with her as she turned into a blueberry. Which she didn't. But
Oh, no.
yeah, that was the end of the movie, by the way. We had to take her home because she was getting ready to die and turn into a blueberry.
Yeah, she has to make some plans, you know.
Aw.
You know what? It's important. It's the art can like that. That means that the movie connected with her. I think that like I hope she wasn't traumatized, obviously, but like it means that like whatever. I was a little bit traumatized by watching Oogie Boogie the first time I saw it, but it meant that was a movie that stuck with me a little bit. It was like it was something that I needed to come back to and engage with. So I hope that she has that experience with that movie, because while it may not be the, you know, obviously the classic Willy Wonka is the best Willy Wonka, but like if you're gonna make that connection about like being terrified, it's, you know, that's something. That's
It made my night.
good.
I was like, oh, I guess we're going home. Gonna turn into a blueberry soon, so I'll say goodbye now.
Oh.
Aw.
Yeah. Nah. Oh, she fell asleep after too because of the sugar rush. So
Yeah.
it all worked out.
And she woke up not a blueberry. So
Yeah. And then she was
Way
like,
to ruin the
it's a
ending,
dream.
Mike.
oh,
He wasn't finished the story.
The ending
Listen.
of Mike's niece, or
listen. We all wish we could just turn into blueberries and forget all our problems sometimes. But none of us get that escape.
I would like to leave capitalist society and live in some sort of Halloween themed town in the middle of nowhere. I feel
Oh,
like
is there one? Is there a nightmare place that you can go for
I don't know. It
Nightmare
seems like
Before
the
Christmas?
equivalent of Pioneer Village, but there's no mention of money, and everybody just seems to do their thing in Halloween Town, and that just really appeals to me. I would also like to see this series of short films of people or creatures who were born in the other holiday towns who realize that they can't live there and go to Halloween Town, and that's clearly how Halloween Town is formed. I would just that's a series that just lives in my head. I'd like somebody else to make it.
Hey, everybody who realizes how fucked up Thanksgiving Town is, and they're like,
dang,
yeah. That's like, our history of colonialism is really fucked up.
I'm gonna take all this scary shit somewhere else. And
I don't know.
St.
Which
Patty's
is
Day
worse.
Town is just Irish racism.
Yeah, but it's like
just
I don't know which is worse.
Don't go there, Jack
Thanksgiving
Skellington.
Town or St. Patty's Town. I don't know which one's worse.
I would want to go to St. Patty's
man.
Town, to be honest. Like,
Chase the snakes. Chase the snakes.
it's probably just like it's probably some college college kegger or St. Patty's Day.
I was amusing about, do they have St. Patrick's Day like in the UK? Because like in the States, they weren't the active colonial force in Ireland. Whereas I don't know, in the UK, if they're like celebrating it,
They're like, "Goo!"
yeah,
A lot of them.
you know? But that's kind of what Thanksgiving is,
Yeah. Well, it's when St. Patrick got the snakes out of Ireland or something, or rats. No, sorry, that's Pied Piper.
Snakes. Yeah.
Snakes. Okay, thank you.
Well, I think England has what's that one? They got Guy Fawkes Day.
Oh yeah,
Where they
Very
burn
different
effigies.
than,
But it's imagine like we had American Terrorist Day. Yeah, let's make a effigy of a terrorist and burn them. Yeah.
That's dark.
Take that, Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah. You could pick a terrorist. Too.
Let's pick an American terrorist.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little dark there.
In Australia, Ned Kelly is one of our heroes, and he's straight up a guy that murdered police and robbed people. Like, he's not a heroic character, but we reframe him as like Robin Hood.
He's the Australian Billy the Kid in the States.
Yeah.
I've watched a bunch of Ned Kelly movies. They're great. I really enjoy them.
So
wait, he's not the guy who wore all the weird like homemade armor, is he?
Yeah, he totally was. But when you hear his actual play, so kind of he got shot at a pub and it was very kind of cinematic ending that he had. But what his actual goal had been is the reason, because they got shot in the legs because they didn't build leg armor. The reason they didn't build leg armor is their original plan was back then the only way for the police to get there would to come on the train. So his plan was to ambush the train, and they would have done it from above the hill. So he wouldn't have been able to be shot in the legs. And their goal was to stop the train and shoot all of the police in Victoria and just kill them all so they could do kind of whatever they want.
Wow.
He had this goal to sort of get
dream big.
to murder like this train full of people, essentially. But he's a heroic figure in Australia.
And not even in like an Al Capone style, like he created an organization, just like he just shot a bunch of people who were trying to do their jobs. Well, you know, I'm not pro cop, but like
Yeah.
I think it's time for quiz.
Is it time for quiz? Okay.
And I have a quiz for Tracy, but it's Star Trek.
Okay.
But it relates to Nightmare Before Christmas.
Christmas and Star Trek.
Okay.
What did I do in a
No. This is a tradition.
Okay.
Sean and Tracy have to talk about Star Trek actor
Just a bit.
Yes.
with any related movie.
I'm gonna stop you, Sean, because you guys have already. Okay, so I was muted for a little while. Sean alerted me to being muted, and I knew I was muted because I had to go find new questions to ask you guys because you guys answered several questions that are part of the quiz, and I was like, God damn it, you know. And Sean, I'm gonna stop you from whatever it is because it's probably the same thing I have written down, and if I gotta go search for a new thing, I'm going to be very upset.
Okay.
One more quick Nightmare Before Christmas mention before we go.
Sure.
There's a really fantastic album, which is a whole bunch of alternative bands that re-recorded Night Before Christmas songs. It came out actually again while we lived in Japan. I remember it being kind of big around then.
Yeah.
There's like Tiger Army, Fall Out Boy, Marilyn Manson, all kinds of.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but if you look it up on Spotify, I'm sure it's easy enough to find.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's every song from the movie, each one re-recorded by a different band. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's worth checking out.
I'd also
Gotta find that. Yeah.
I will also take a moment to plug those of you who may have grown up goth at a certain time in a certain place will be well aware of Pop Will Eat Itself's Ik Ben ein Auslander mashup with This Is Halloween, which is commonly found under the title Ausoween. I cannot recommend it enough.
I was unaware. This is a betrayal of our marriage.
What? How
did not
How have you not known this?
alert me to the existence of this track.
Betrayal of our marriage.
Impossible. All right.
Have you ever done the vows?
We have some stuff to do when we get off this call. But, again, I will put that in with recommendations for alternative soundtracks. Thank you so much, Brendan.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes. So as mentioned, so what I did was get some new questions, but I'm keeping all the old questions. So this quiz is a little bit longer, but you guys will probably do better on this one than the last one. Question number one.
I thought we did okay the last time. It seems like we didn't perform to Tracy's standards.
There was a lot of hemming and hawing at the last one. Okay,
I had a lot of waiting for you guys to answer stuff.
Yeah, it's true you did. Question number one. At the beginning of the film, as Jack slinks away from the praise and adoration, he passes a band and one of them calls him somewhat scandalous sounding name. Leah.
Bone Daddy. What is nice work, Bone Daddy?
Bone Daddy. I heard that and I laughed for like 10 minutes. I was like, that's just wrong. Thank you. Question number two. In The Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack finds the holiday doors. How many doors are there? Brendan.
I'm going to go with 6 again.
That was my guess.
Last time.
So close, but incorrect. Wait, who is that? Sean.
7.
Correct. There are
Thanks,
7.
Brandon. I was going to say 6.
What are the doors?
The doors are Valentine's Day, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Independence Day, Thanksgiving, Halloween.
Independence Day.
Correct. It makes no sense. Halloween and Christmas. Those are the 7 doors.
Diverse selection of holidays in holiday land.
The funny thing is, when I was watching this, I honestly thought there was a Hanukkah tree. Yep. And I was shocked that there wasn't. And I was
Nora is probably what you are thinking of, but yeah.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Hanukkah tree? Is that what you said? It's wonderful. It is still Hanukkah, by the way.
Yeah.
While we're recording this.
Also, for anybody being tracked down and attempted murdered by killer Christmas toys, can I suggest Judaism? Now it just seems like a good time to maybe bring it up.
Sounds like a good time. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, doesn't detract from the holidays.
But you might get
being
killed by a
miserable.
dreidel.
Jesus, yeah, no, probably have like a sharp. Oh dear. Oh, I've gone to an Eli Roth Hanukkah place. All right, keep going, Tracy.
I was actually thinking it'd be like the mace that Go-Go has in Kill Bill. The blades come out of the top and just like comes at you.
Yeah.
Gimmel.
Question number 3. The Halloween doorway is sandwiched between which 2 holidays?
St. Patrick's Day and Thanksgiving.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Sean.
Thanksgiving and I can't think of
Easter?
Arbor Day. Easter. It's just Easter.
Incorrect.
I don't know. They were trees. Maybe there's an Arbor Day.
Anybody else?
Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day.
Incorrect.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Incorrect.
It's the Christmas door. You can't,
nuts.
it can't be sandwiched.
The Halloween door.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Do you guys give up?
I give up.
Oh, nobody gets a point for this one. So the trees are not set up in chronological order. For some reason, the Halloween door is in between Independence Day and Christmas.
Independence Day.
What the
What the fuck?
What is
Come on, America.
What is the symbol?
No
on
one
the
else
tree?
cares about it, but you.
It is a firecracker.
It's Will Smith.
Nice.
What the Jesus?
I didn't catch that at all.
It is. Question number 4. What is the hair? Okay, sorry. Hold on. This is one of the questions I was writing while you guys were on mute. Okay. What is in the hair of the guy under the stairs?
Spiders.
Spiders.
Correct. Oh, guys are great.
Sorry, I didn't buzz in.
Yeah, I didn't.
Disqualified, sir. Tracy's a stippler.
Question number 5. The SCTV unknown and the screen matriarch of the McCutcheon family also voices Sally in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Leah shook first. I saw it.
Catherine O'Hara. She's Catherine O'Hara.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
Catherine O'Hara. It's Catherine O'Hara all the way down. This film does not pass the Bechdel test, but also both of the main female characters are Catherine O'Hara.
Wait, there's another main female character?
Shock.
That's considered a main female character?
The only other one that I can think of is the woman who is just the mother to the fat guy, the fat kid.
True. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was wondering about this. Is there, going back to Love Actually, is there like a caveat in the Bechdel test about if the only thing women talk about when they're talking to each other is about the thickness of their thighs?
That might be a
but Mike, she was talking to whenever it was talked about, it was to a man usually. A woman was
Yeah. No. I don't think that that's actually true because obviously 2 women in that movie would never talk to each other.
That's very true.
If they did it was like if horrible underling boss manager was like, oh, you mean the one with the thick thighs? And then she went outside and said that to another lady.
Yeah.
Technically, that would pass. Like if the 2 of them had names, that would pass the Bechdel test. But if the 2 of them were just specifically talking about how fat a third lady was, I feel like it's not.
I mean, technically, if a woman calls another woman a bitch,
I feel like
in a movie that passes the Bechdel test.
It does.
Yeah, I know.
That could be the only thing that 2 women talk about, but it would pass.
And the point of the Bechdel test is
that
it's it's very simple because it's not supposed to be it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was like
the litmus
Alison
test
Bechdel didn't
so
mean
that
it to
you
be
get-
like
Yeah.
it's a thing.
Do 2 women actually talk to each other in Love Actually?
I just googled it. It passes
Emma
3
Thompson
times according to this website.
talks to Monica Lewinsky about my brother.
No, but that doesn't count if she's talking about a man.
Yeah, she can't talk about a man.
Yeah.
Wait,
No.
I closed it. I didn't look at the examples.
Emma Thompson talks to her daughter, who is first lobster in the nativity play.
Yes.
that
There's
is
no men
true.
talk
Okay.
there. That should be one.
That's one. All right.
So the daughter doesn't have a name.
But again, the point of the test is not to validate or invalidate any given movie. It's about getting metrics about
It's to point
multiple
out
movies, and
there's a
that's why
problem.
it's such simple criteria. Is that it's like, hey, if 40% of the movies released in a year don't even pass that test, that's a problem. But it's not supposed to be a valuation of any given movie or whether it's good or bad.
Right.
Because anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah,
it
I'm not
passes
gonna-
with one,
Yeah.
that's not really a pass.
Yeah, like I'm
Right,
not
but
going to
that's my point,
automatically
is that,
think the movie's
Love
great
Actually
now.
is like whether it passes or not, that doesn't make it a good or a feminist movie. It's like
The girls in the bar, would they count? They talk to each other. I think.
yeah.
I mean, about sleeping with the guy though. So I don't know.
Yeah, but also that they're lamenting the fact that they don't have any air conditioning, so they have to.
Yeah, they talk about their crappy house.
Same bed.
Ah, four of us have to
Exactly.
sleep in a small bed. We'll be naked. Wait.
Yeah. So-
I hate that 18 years ago when I saw this theater, I was like, oh, this is so cool. Wish this was me. Like, I know I was that guy.
No,
you
but
totally were.
honestly, that it's a fantasy. Like that's
Yeah.
okay to be
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, I would also, like to entertain a fantasy where 4 naked ladies are, just saying.
Am I allowed to vote
20
on
years
who
ago,
the ladies are?
20 years ago, he
Of
was.
course.
Okay, then
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
step back from that question.
Mike, I hope the coach is comfy tonight.
But no, we just reached an excellent
Just kidding.
negotiation
Yeah.
where I'm allowed to vote on who the naked ladies are. And so we're good
Oh.
again.
All right, that's great.
Actually, I want to know. So does Tracy's audience. Just kidding.
Catherine O'Hara. Oh,
Emma
Hell
Thompson.
yeah. That's just for the story.
Okay.
Sorry,
Next
back to you.
question. It's okay. What are the names of the Boogie Boys?
Wait, Lock, Stock, and Barrel?
Brendan.
Shock and Barrel.
Yes.
Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Oh, it's Shock, not Stock.
And Brendan got it
Shock.
right.
Yes, Brendan.
And
Yes, he did.
buzzed
Okay.
in correctly, unlike Sean.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
I just learned their names tonight.
Next question. What is Zero's nose? Oh,
It's a little
Brendan.
tiny jack lantern.
Oh, Brendan did it first.
I think it's
Brendan.
Jennifer Manson.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. That's
Sorry,
it.
what'd you say?
I'll share that one because I clicked in and couldn't remember. Sorry. And then you said it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
Very kind of you.
Yes. Okay. Next question. What well-known cartoon character can you get a glimpse of on the table where Jack does his experiments? Brendan.
Is it Mickey Mouse?
It is Mickey Mouse.
There's a hidden Mickey on the
Disney movie,
table.
so,
There's
Was
yeah.
that a
Mickey
guess?
on the
Damn.
table.
It was a guess. It was an educated guess of it being a Disney
Yeah.
film. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good
Yeah.
point. I was going to pick Bart Simpson, but they just bought 20th Century recently. It wasn't back then.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Let me say.
Next question. Glenn Shaddix, who voices the mayor, is hilarious as Otho in this other Tim Burton Halloween classic. Leah. Leah.
Juice.
Yay! As you
I don't get to
guys,
say it a
like
quick
you guys, the funny thing is, you're sitting there and you were like spouting off all of this information about the movie, and I'm like, "There's that question. There's that question. There's that question." I was like, "No, oh no."
You know how
I don't know why we didn't do that with Love Actually too. We clearly
how am I taking notes?
You are.
wait. Show
Oh,
that
yeah.
up again. Take a
we came on a
screenshot.
podcast to talk
We're
about
gonna-
movies,
No, 'cause then
and
you'll see all my
knew
notes.
about the
Oh,
movie.
okay.
My
How
secrets.
dare
Are
we?
you kidding me?
All right, guys, we have one bonus question worth 2 points. 2 points. Who's ready?
Better be straight
Ready? All right. Chris Sarandon, the speaking voice of Jackson, Sean Archer.
D Space Nine.
Correct. Hey, you guys.
I was gonna be my. I was like, I was racking my brain
Ridiculous.
and like, I'm like, okay, there's nobody in Love Actually from any Star Trek, and I'm like,
Nope.
so I looked up the voice actors. I didn't like click into their names. I'm like, Chris Sarandon. I know he's been in Star Trek, and it came to me. He was in a D Space Nine episode where he had a special device,
Yeah.
and he sells it to Quark, and he's also in a Lorian, like a Guinan's race. I remember that for some reason.
Oh, in one of the movies?
Yeah, no. Well, no, Lorians are Guinan, and
No, I know.
Yeah, so he's in a Lorian
Oh,
because I remember in the episode he talks about the Borg.
I did not remember that part
Anyway,
of it.
sorry.
Look at you.
Yeah.
So I
Very
don't know Star Trek
Guidance.
at all, but could we connect Love Actually to Star Trek through Alan Rickman, who's in Galaxy Quest, which is like a parody of Star Trek?
Yes, we totally can.
And Galaxy, yeah, that's good. Yeah, one separation of Star Trek, or two separations.
Yeah.
I mean, it totally works. I actually think there are actors in Galaxy Quest that are in Star Trek, to be honest. I think I already did
That
this.
makes
Didn't I already do this where I found who
what's
was in
his
what?
name? Dwight from The Office.
Oh,
in
that's right.
Galaxy
He's in
Quest and-
Discovery.
He's in Discovery.
He's in
Yeah,
Discovery, that is
I didn't
correct.
even know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Mud. He plays the new
Rainy-
he was
version
really
of Mud.
fun. He was really fun as well.
Yeah, but Mud as a character is kind of like the worst person ever
In
the
the
galaxy.
original Star Trek series, he's basically a space pimp in the first episode.
Yeah.
He's selling miners these robot women, and sorry, no, not robots, these women, but it turns out they're all old women. And he's got a magic thing to make them young. And it's really problematic now when you watch it. The original series can be really sexist.
Yeah, like you rewatch them and the ideas were there. You see what the ideas were, but you're just like, oh wow, that's just wrong. Yeah. I mean,
also the skirts.
Yes.
They're so short.
Sure.
And Kirk has a yeoman in the first season, and she's giving him coffee and food. And imagine joining Starfleet to give the captain coffee.
Yeah, he's got a yeoman in every season.
Yeah, but they got rid of her in the first season because
But no, it's okay because in Love Actually, Star Trek, you know, he would there would be a Christmas confession, and then they would,
because at Christmas you always tell the truth, which Brendan, I think you brought up, which I really like, that you don't tell the truth any other time of year.
It's not a Christmas trope.
I'm gonna stick with that.
Love it.
I only tell the truth on Independence Day. In honor of the movie.
I love that America became independent today. Also, Mike, you're a fucking asshole.
Nobody can enjoy this meal I cooked for all 14 of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all I've got. Any more notes or anything about anything we talked about so far? No, there's a lot of head shaking.
Silence.
Staring off into the distance.
You know, I think anything that I brought up at this point would set us off for another good half hour. So, you know, I think I've shared what I need to share vis-a-vis, you know, slowly becoming a movie about Sally, and also all the tiny glorious points about the visuals in this movie.
Yes. Yep. So it all works out.
I think we've discussed every aspect that could be discussed about either movie, and there's nothing left to be said.
Yes, this is the last podcast that ever discusses either movie.
Well, I would like to just say thank you so much for joining me this year for this extravaganza. As usual, it's been a lot of fun talking movies, watching movies, and spending a whole year with you guys.
Thank you, Tracy.
Love you too, Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yay! Well, that's it for this episode and this year of Off My Shelf. I will be returning with new episodes on Jan 17th, 2022, where we'll be talking about the movies Labyrinth and Ladies Man. Until then, you can follow along on Instagram and Twitter at ohmyshelf, or you can send emails to ohmyshelf@gmail.com. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, a joyous Kwanzaa. Enjoy whatever you celebrate. See you in the new year.
You forgot Life Day, Tracy.
Oh, I forgot Life Day. Oh no!
And also, you own Ladies Man. Why?
Oh no, that was a hand me down from my brother, and it was there.
Okay.
Like, all right.
Okay. That makes sense.